by an enormous banner that was unfurled above the heads of their fans away to their left-hand side as they looked. A giant image of Pele. I think it was in a Santos shirt. It was a white shirt with a ball tucked underneath his arm. The famous, brilliant Brazilian number 10, and underneath the simple message, get well soon. And we certainly echo that. So we are underway. This is Group G. Winners of Group G will face South Korea on Monday at 7 o'clock in the last 16. That is more than likely to be Brazil, but you never know with this World Cup. And the runners-up in Group G this evening will take on Portugal on Tuesday. Chris Sutton, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon against the world's #1 ranked team.
Yep, and just tell everybody what indomitable means.
It means impossible to subdue or defeat.
So you fancy Cameroon, do you?
You've got to. You've got to, with a name like that. They've won an early throw on the right-hand side.
They can't possibly, can they? But this is the maddest of World Cups, isn't it? I mean, it really is. Some of the upsets, some of the late drama we've seen, not again, surely.
Let's see. Goal kick Brazil. Cameroon had a throw wide on the right. Let's get you through their team. 4 changes this evening. Really raw pair of centre-backs. Christopher Wu, 21 years old, plays his club football at Rennes. Has not really played much football in Liga this season, but has just replaced Joe Rodon in the team. Enzo Ebosse of Udinese, 23 years old, pairing him as the left-sided centre-back. Tolo Nuhu and Collins Fire, the two full-backs, defending early on for Cameroon to do. Brazil bringing it forward. Cross is cut back into the box. A stretch, and Martinelli trying to get on the end of it. Brazil still have it wide on the left-hand side. Gabriel Jesus on his right foot. 3 Cameroon defenders in front of him. Low ball, driven in by Anthony. That's blocked near the goal line. Ball back by the halfway line. Early update from Conor McNamara on Serbia-Switzerland.
Yes, and it's been an electric start to this game. Switzerland nearly scoring inside the first 60 seconds. Pinball in the Serbia penalty area. Might have been a chance for Mbolo. Might have been a chance for Shaqiri. Might have been a chance for Granit Xhaka. Each of them blocked by the defenders of the goalkeeper. Somehow Serbia survived that. Serbia 0, Switzerland 0 for now.
Good. Conor's already getting ramped up. You can hear it in his voice, can't you? I like it.
We can, but what a piece of skill that was from Anthony. Anthony's dancing feet. Tim Vickery thinks he's going to push Rafinha now, and you know, it's an opportunity, isn't it? Because you know, we're saying it's Brazil, but it's Brazil reserves essentially.
Choupo-Moting's volleyed the ball forward. Abubakar's done really well to get it wide to Mbeumo. That might be a handball as he tried to control it. That's a shame, because Cameroon were on the front foot. They need to win this game to have any chance of going through. So Davis Epassi is their goalkeeper. Andre Onana has already gone home. First choice goalkeeper pulled out just ahead of the second game against Serbia. And Mbeumo onto a loose ball inside the Brazilian half. Alex Telles mops things up for Brazil. So Epassi, the goalkeeper for Cameroon. Collins Fye right back. Nuhu left back. I've mentioned the 2 centre-backs. And Mbeumo wide on the right. And Gamalou of Dinamo Moscow on the left. Pierre Koundé and Andre Frank Ongisa, former Fulham man, now at Napoli in central midfield. Vincent Aboubakar and Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, which is a very experienced, very potent front 2 for Cameroon. Bright green shirts, yellow numbers on their backs, red shorts and yellow socks, and they have want to throw him wide on the left-hand side. This stadium, Chris, when we saw Brazil play Serbia in the first game, was absolutely rocking. I wonder, with Brazil having already gone through, whether that's deadened it a little bit from the Brazilian point of view this evening.
Yeah, maybe so. There's always that expectation, isn't there, with the Brazilian fans, and you know, plenty of changes this evening. But as I said, it's an opportunity for a lot of these Brazilian second-string players to actually give Chite some food for thought.
Ebosse, left-sided centre-back with the ball forward. Dani Alves jumps to win the header. Anthony is barged to the floor. That's Gamalou, the left winger, who's knocked him over. It's a free kick. So Brazil with the 9 changes. Ederson in goal. Dani Alves right back. Alex Telles of Manchester United, but currently on loan at Sevilla at left back. Bremer, the Juventus centre-back, Serie A defender of the year last season, winning only his 2nd cap alongside Militao of Real Madrid. Fabinho and Fred in front of them. Anthony, Rodrigo in the Neymar role. Neymar is here and inside the stadium. Gabriel Martinelli wide on the left. At least we think it's Neymar and not the guy who's been wandering around looking like him and fooling everybody. and Gabriel Jesus playing through the middle. 1 goal in his last 23 internationals for Gabriel Jesus. So he is one who will be extremely hungry to get involved and make a name for himself at this World Cup. Fred, only Brazilian player on a yellow card in the tournament so far, is in the right back position for Brazil. They're in blue. Oh, Anthony's in the mood. That's a lovely turn to get him away from Nuhu, who comes charging back and brings him down rather crudely, and I think it will be a yellow card. And Ismail El Fath, the referee, he brandished that with fury, Chris.
Oh, he did, and Nuhu may be in a bit of trouble in this game, because that's twice in the opening 5 or 6 minutes where Anthony has had the better of him. I mean, that's a really poor challenge. No from Nuhu.
I was just going to say, there's some really good names for a commentator. So Nuhu is one of them. I think Christopher Wu is just, there's all sorts you can do with that. Free kick for Brazil, just inside their half. Nuhu has been booked, but I mean, if Wu were to score, you've got Nuhu and you've got a potential Woohoo. And free kick Brazil. And it's played back to Militao. So Brazil calmly knocking it around. Back to Conor McNamara watching Serbia-Switzerland.
Still 0-0. Chance for Serbia. Corner taken by Dusan Tadic. Header by the defender Nikola Milenkovic. Just off target. As things stand, Brazil and Switzerland, the two teams going through 0-0.
If Switzerland draw, only a Cameroon win here can deny Switzerland.
Yellow card there, yep. Militao, I think. Yeah, he does brandish that quite aggressively, doesn't he? I like that.
Think he's been watching Mike Dean?
Well, I think so, yeah.
This is the referee, Chris, who gave the penalty to Ronaldo earlier in the tournament.
That's not a yellow card challenge. I mean, blimey. Yeah, a bit of a show pony referee we've got. Where's he from, Bruce?
He's an American. He's an American.
Yeah, they love it, don't they? The Americans.
Whatever nationality he was there, you were going to say, yeah, they love it, don't they?
Especially the Americans.
7 minutes gone. The Americans, the American national team, are in our first last 16 commentary. The last 16 starts tomorrow. We are straight into it. 3 o'clock tomorrow, 5 live on BBC Sounds, Netherlands against the USA. But first of all, these final group games from Group G to concentrate on tonight. Cameroon needing the win to have any chance of going through. As Conor was just saying, Switzerland draw at the moment suits them just fine. Brazil and Switzerland will be going through as things stand as the top two. Nice football though from Cameroon, playing it around inside their own half. Here's Ongisa, who really is growing into a substantial footballer, playing the ball to his right hand side. Here's Wu, low to the right. Fellow centre-back Ebose is able to come striding across the halfway line. Ball is played forward to Ngamalu. He's got a little trick and he goes wide to his left-hand side. Nuhu down the line to Ngamalu. Militao is out there to cover it. Bumps shoulders with Ngamalu. He's too strong for him. And here's Anthony running from inside his own half. Beautiful. Just slips away from two defenders, but the pass is loose and Cameroon win it back. 0-0.
Yeah, both teams have set up in 4-4-2 formations. Militao, one of the Brazilians who has kept his place this evening. Multiple changes, playing in his favourite position, centre half this evening. Good player he is, strong, quick.
Strong challenge from Wu on Jesus. He did win the ball. Jesus has picked up a very slight knock, goes hobbling away. Brazil have possession inside their own half. And that is Bremer, who wears number 24. So both left-sided centre-backs in the number 24 shirts this evening. Although that means absolutely nothing to anyone. Fabinho plays back to Bremer. Bremer 10 yards inside his own half, goes for the high diagonal towards Martinelli, who wins the header, and there's an offside flag up against Brazil. Free kick Cameroon.
Yeah, Martinelli playing on that left-hand side. I mean, it's really poor play from him. He's looking along the line as that long diagonal ball was ballooned towards him and a yard offside.
Rigobert Song, Cameroon boss, record cap holder, played at 4 World Cups, actually got sent off against Brazil in a defeat against them in 1994. Cutting a dash though, all in black this evening, black jeans, black trainers, black baseball cap and black jacket as well. Dani Alves wins a header. Here's Ongisa in central midfield, just pokes it back into his own half, and Ebosse comes back to the goalkeeper, Epassi.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Cameroon go about this, though. They know what they have to do, as Epassi took one touch too many, and Jesus shut him down.
Militao hoists the ball over his shoulder down the right-hand side to Anthony. Brazil have lost it, but they get it back. Dani Alves. Fred is able to turn in midfield, then whip a ball to his right with his left foot, and it's Gabriel Jesus who's popped up on that side. Little back heel from him, finds Anthony. The Brazilian fans enjoyed that. There was a woo for that. Cross comes in towards the near post. Woo heads it away. Fabinho knocks it straight up in the air, and Epassi, the goalkeeper, is underneath it. I did test Chris Sutton a little earlier on today about the African teams that have come up against Brazil at the World Cup. Seven games against African teams, and an African nation have never beaten them. I have to say he did quite well, Chris.
I got 2, didn't I?
Well, I think for you that's quite well. Choupo-Moting's lost the ball in the centre circle. What can Brazil do with this? Rigobert Song thinks that should have been a free kick for the challenge on his centre forward. Martinelli to Rodrigo. Not really seen Rodrigo on the ball in the first 11 minutes. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. And last we heard, Serbia 0, Switzerland 0. Conor McNamara.
Serbia have hit the post, still 0-0, but Andreas Zivkovic playing out on the right wing, weaved into his left foot position, walloped a shot from outside the penalty area. Remember, young Gregor Kobel, who's only got 3 caps to his name before tonight, filling in for the sick Jan Sommer. He looks like he saw a ghost. He hardly flinched. It walloped back off the post. It remains Serbia 0, Switzerland 0.
So your answers to the quiz question: Cameroon have attempted to beat Brazil twice and not been able to manage it. Actually played them 4 years ago and lost by 4-1 in the group stages. Zaire, Algeria, Morocco, Ghana and the Ivory Coast. So if you got all of those back home, very well done.
It's not like you gave the listeners a chance, really.
I didn't actually. Epassi, well, I would have forgotten otherwise, Chris. I would have forgotten to give the answers. Choupo-Moting with a flick on, so he's doing well in the air, but Militao's dealt with it, plays it to Alves. Alves back to Militao, across it comes to Bremer.
Choupo-Moting, the best target man in the world, according to
Serge Gnabry, I think said that.
Absolutely. Do you agree with that, Bruce?
I think he's doing a fabulous job for Bayern Munich. Now, this is a slight concern in terms of the game. We've got a Mexican wave rippling its way around this giant stadium just 12.5 minutes in. Ball forward to Rodrigo. Let's concentrate on the football. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Serbia 0, Switzerland 0. Rodrigo, the 21-year-old, little shimmy and a shake. Tries to beat his man, can't find Fred with the pass. Wu off balance, clears to the halfway line. Militao heads it to his left. Fabinho is there, strokes a lovely first-time ball on the half volley wide to the right. And Anthony, again, tries to cut in from the right, but he's tackled. Brazil win it back midway inside the Cameroon half. Fabinho is sprinting away from Choupo-Moting. Felt the pressure on him, plays back to Bremer.
Yeah, Fabinho in that Casemiro role, the quarterback for Brazil, seeing Fred play up one.
Jesus chasing a loose ball just outside the Cameroon penalty area, cleared away from him by Ebosse.
Yeah, Fred playing sort of in that number 8 position, higher up, and Rodrigo higher up on the left-hand side centrally for Brazil. Jesus as a centre forward.
Fred's diagonal ball. Martinelli there with the header, tipped over the bar by Epassi. Got a good, strong left hand to it. Wasn't quite heading for the far corner from Martinelli, but that is the first real chance of the game.
Yep, I think Martinelli should score. Heads it straight above Epassi, who gets a big left hand to it. It's a good save, but he could have gone back across the goalkeeper into the far corner. I think that's a poor miss from Martinelli. Brazil should be leading.
14 minutes played first half. Corner for Brazil will come in from the left, in swinger. Now that is a deep one towards the far post. Gabriel Jesus tries to get the header back across goal, but can't direct it anywhere near there, and it goes behind for the goal kick. If Brazil do get themselves ahead, then, well, we're not going to rule Cameroon out, but let's keep telling you, Cameroon have to win this game to have any chance. It's going to come down.
We didn't rule Japan out, did we?
No,
when
absolutely.
They went behind against Spain. Let's be positive tonight, Bruce.
Always, Chris. Always. 0-0. And dummy from Epassi. ran up to take the goal kick and did a step over.
Yeah, little right leg over the ball.
Love it. Fabinho's header goes backwards into his own half, but he comes back to win the ball. Able to turn, finds Martinelli. Martinelli still inside his own half, starts a run and away he goes, and they're not going to catch him at this pace down the left-hand side. Excitement building again from the Brazilian fans. Martinelli's cross, half deflected, bounces on the edge of the box, flicked on by Anthony, but he can't quite find Dani Alves. Cleared by the left-back Nuhu for Cameroon. Bremer comes running across the halfway line to deal with it. Abubakar chases him, and Brazil have it back inside their own half.
Yeah, Martinelli, good driving run from inside his own half. Very direct, has had a superb season at Arsenal. Just slightly off with the cross, but you can see the idea from Brazil. Get the ball out wide to their wide men Martinelli and Anthony, and let them do their thing.
Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Conor McNamara watching Serbia, Switzerland still 0-0. Because of Switzerland's early win against Cameroon in the group, that suits the Swiss. So at the moment, Brazil are winning the group. Switzerland going through as runners-up. Serbia need to win that game to have any chance of going through. Martinelli plays the ball back to Rodrigo. Nice little turn from him. I've enjoyed watching him at this tournament. He's in that audition for the Neymar role. We don't know when Neymar will be back. Martinelli's cross in. Jesus looks for the flicked header. Nodded away. Dani Alves with a step over his own. Just lobs a ball down the right-hand side, and Anthony is going to have a go against Nuhu. No, he's not. He's miscontrolled it. In fact, he's tackled, and it's gone behind for another corner to Brazil. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Chris Sutton's your predictions expert on the BBC Sport website. Samuel Eto'o, I mentioned him ahead of the game. He said it will be a Cameroon-Morocco final.
Doesn't know what he's talking about.
Morocco are through, Chris. They're through to the last 16. Cameroon could still go through to the last 16. Expectations high from the federation's president. We got 2 yellow cards in the game early on, and the referee's getting fussy here.
Delusion high from Samuel Eto'o, I think. Bruce?
Corner.
Come on.
From the right. Anthony kills it in with his left foot. Oh, that beat everyone. Volleyed away. And that's a foul on Mbermo. Tellez too eager to try and get to that ball, has conceded the free kick just outside the Cameroon penalty area. So 17 minutes gone in the first half, 0-0. Last 16 starts tomorrow, as I say. Netherlands, USA, 5 Live on BBC Sounds. If you're on the move, take the World Cup with you wherever you go via the BBC Sounds app.
That's a good game, isn't it?
Netherlands, USA.
Yeah.
Yep. Argentina against Australia is your 7 o'clock commentary on Saturday, and then on Sunday, France, Poland. Chris is going to be part of the commentary team for that one at 3 o'clock.
4-0 France.
That's what you're saying. Our predictions expert, England, Senegal, 7 o'clock on Sunday. The 2 games tomorrow, by the way, are both on BBC One. So if you're enjoying our offering on World Cup Extra, where you can get the 5 Live commentary with the BBC pictures, that will be available to you for both those commentaries tomorrow. The ball's back in the Brazilian penalty area. It's with Ederson. I mean, Ederson's winning a cap this evening. Brazil are yet to face a shot on target, and he's had absolutely...
that's amazing.
Could be a quiet night, couldn't it, for him, possibly.
Serbia and Switzerland didn't lay a glove on Brazil, but Cameroon have to lay a glove on this Brazilian team this evening. Just trying to play with a bit of balance so far, but the longer this game goes, they'll try and hang on in there. But they will have to throw caution to the wind eventually.
Here come Brazil. They're the boys in blue this evening. Anthony, again, dancing, jinking on the right-hand side. Plays the ball back into his own half. Decides not to take on Ngamalu this time. And it's come all the way across to the left to Alex Tellez. Fabinho tries to turn it round the corner. Anguissa read that, and he blocks it. And it comes all the way back to Ederson. He's all in light grey. And he's matched that this evening, just on Fashion Watch, with bright orange boots, the sort of black tops to the gloves, but they've got orange wrist strappings. And I think that goes well.
He could play outfield, couldn't he, Ederson?
He's passing, Chris.
Is there a better goalkeeper in the world with their feet?
I can't think of one, no. But he's not first choice for Brazil. Rodrigo playing it forward here to Fred. Fred almost caught in possession. Now here's Choupo-Moting for Cameroon, approaching the edge of the Brazilian box. Dani Alves tries to make the challenge. Choupo-Moting lost his balance, regains it, back onto the ball, taken off him in the end by Fabinho. Fabinho in the right back position. Anthony tries a clever flick. He's given the ball away. Anguissa immediately turns, plays it into midfield to Koundé, and Koundé comes back to the 21-year-old Christopher Wu. Christopher Wu to his right.
It sounds like you're cheering a pass, Bruce, every time he passes the ball.
I like Christopher Wu. Oh, that's a nice pass as well from Abubakar. Ongisa gets it back on the edge of the box from Ngamalu. Now Choupo-Moting. Choupo-Moting's got support on the outside. Nuhu's crossing. Edison palms it away on the dive, and the ball will run to Gabriel Martinelli on the edge of the box. Right, first goal of the night in Group G. Which way has it gone, Conor McNamara?
It's Serbia 0, Switzerland 1, and it's Xherdan Shaqiri, the former Stoke and Liverpool player, left-footed finish after Serbia weren't able to clear it away inside the penalty area. Good work in the build-up by Djibril Sow, who was patient in the box. He teed up Shaqiri, who's drilled it in. Switzerland lead. If they hold this lead, they're guaranteed to progress. It's Serbia 0, Switzerland 1.
Thank you, Conor. Free kick for Brazil just inside their own half. So Xherdan Shaqiri, who scored the late winner for Switzerland 4 years ago, has got Switzerland in front in the game. At the moment, the way the group stands, Brazil 0-0 here will finish on 7 points. Switzerland will be on 6 points, and that will all be done and dusted. Brazil against South Korea, Switzerland against Portugal it will be. So Serbia have got their work cut out. There's Fred. Fred plays the ball to Anthony. Lovely step over, great mover with the ball. Probably a great mover without the ball as well. Here's Martinelli. Rolls a pass back to Alex Telles. Telles curls the cross in with his left foot. Might run to Jesus. Fred! Bouncing ball, volleys it over the bar. Goal kick for Cameroon. Chris Sutton.
He's given a corner there. As the referee, yeah, he's given a corner, I think. Yeah, ball into the box, and Jesus fighting for the ball. It bobbles up, and Fred, I mean, that's a terrible decision, I think. It is a terrible decision from the referee. Fred, it's a little bit too high for him. Swivels in the Richarlison area.
Yeah.
And
in this stadium.
Volleyed it, well, it bounced. It wasn't a pure volley, and hooked the ball about 30 yards over the bar, but the referee's given a corner.
Almost
Strange.
midway through the first half. Not quite sure what the referee saw there. Corner comes in from Rodrigo, and that is a big old swing from Abubakar.
That's a sclaff. His first touch, I think, in the game.
He's sliced it with his right foot, and it's gone straight behind for another corner. Probably had time even to possibly control that or play a more measured clearance away. So another corner to defend for Cameroon. Rodrigo's ball in. That is good header away at the near post, and Burmo jumps to try and win a second header. Choupo-Moting slips, and the referee this time gives a goal kick. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, and Switzerland are 1-up on Serbia. So that is taking Switzerland through in the runners-up spot. If Switzerland win the game, nothing Cameroon could do. Cameroon could win here, and it wouldn't matter a jot.
Yeah,
Switzerland will also be
with the nature of this World Cup, you feel that there's going to be one or two more twists.
Epassi takes the goal kick short to my man Wu. Oh, Wu tackled by Rodrigo, stretches out to try and block Rodrigo, and the ball goes behind for another goal kick. I don't know, it's because of it makes me think of Winnie the Pooh as well, because of the Christopher Robin thing. Christopher Wu. Have you got those vibes? The rhyme? No.
No, neither has producer John.
No, John's giving me a very quizzical look. It's been a busy couple of weeks.
If there is anybody out there who can
shed any light,
see that link.
Epassi clears with his right foot. Ball's headed away by Fabinho. Ongisa is up, heads it to his left-hand side, poked forward by Alves. Cameroon have it. Nuhu plays it to Ngamalu. That is well intercepted by Jesus. Turns it round the corner. Foul in the midfield. Free kick Brazil.
Yeah, Koundé. He says he recovered the ball there. I think that was a foul. The issue which we've seen so far, I mentioned earlier, Switzerland and Serbia, there seemed to be that fear factor to take the game to Brazil. It seems the same with Cameroon this evening. They don't have that real belief and confidence to really throw bodies forward. They're just trying to hang on in there at this moment in time. But there's been a pattern with Brazil, hasn't there? Teams who try and do that against them.
Martinelli, bit of pace outside the left. Cross comes into the near post. Jesus tries to get a foot on it. Good defending, cleared by the right back five. Brazil comes straight back at Cameroon. Here's Jesus, gets the ball from Fabinho. Continues the run on the left, just outside that Cameroon penalty area. First time cross swung in by Telles towards the far post, headed away. Dani Alves in his light blue Brazilian boots plays it to Fred. Now Anthony cuts back onto his left foot. Another cross comes in. Wu comes sliding in and knocks it behind for a Brazilian corner. Pressure just building on that Cameroon defence.
Yeah, he's got wonderful feet, hasn't he, Anthony? Likes to come inside on his left foot and whips in a ball. And it's well defended from Wu in that near post space area. Jesus lurking behind him.
Fifth corner of the first half for Brazil. Still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Here's Anthony, corner of the box. Another ball in with his left foot. Not quite enough on that. It's little Collins Fye, the right back, who wins the header, who must be one of the smallest players at this World Cup, I think. Jesus to Rodrigo. Good run made by Martinelli. Tries to get it back to Rodrigo. Cameroon are able to bring this away. Koundé stretching his legs. Fabinho sticks with him. Koundé wins the foul. Free kick Cameroon, 0-0.
Yeah, Brian and Burmo saying, why didn't you play the ball? There's a lot of space in behind, a high line from Brazil. And Koundé had the opportunity to clip a ball into that right-hand channel. Didn't clip it in and was fouled. You just feel with Cameroon, they're not going to create too many opportunities. They need to be really, really clinical for that final ball, with that finish, when they do get the opportunity.
They've never won a final group game at a World Cup in 7 previous attempts, and it's 1 win in their last 18 World Cup games. And Burmo is fouled by Fabinho, free kick for Cameroon. But as you said to me today, Chris, when I gave you that stat, they're due.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Which, glass half full.
Always. We've got about 20 minutes left in the first half. We know that Switzerland are leading Serbia by a goal to 0. Cameroon do get ahead in this game. That would give Switzerland a chance of winning the group if they could get further ahead against Serbia. And there's another goal in that game. Conor McNamara.
It's an equaliser for Serbia. Serbia won, Switzerland won, and who else but Alexander Mitrovic? He gets his 52nd international goal, and it's all square here again, which opens up an enticing opportunity for Cameroon, Ali. If they could go ahead there, a draw between Serbia and Switzerland could open the door for Cameroon. But that goal from Mitrovic was a belter, and Switzerland, who'd been on top up to this stage, are now back on level terms for now. Serbia won, Switzerland won.
Okay, so it twists and turns again, and it's still 0-0
You went early
here.
with that, didn't you, with the Swiss? Went a little bit early there, talked about them topping the group. What happened? Serbia equalised.
Yep. If Cameroon win, Connor's absolutely right, and Serbia-Switzerland finishes as a draw, then Cameroon would be likely to go through on goals scored. A 2-goal win would absolutely guarantee that. So, still everything to play for Cameroon. They've got to press on here as Braver clears.
They haven't played like lions, though, have they, just yet?
Rodrigo, a bit of pace. Makes some space for himself in the midfield. Now charging towards the penalty area. Poor challenge from Koundé. Yeah, free kick.
And here is the show pony referee. Watch this. Bang! Have some of that. Boom! Right in your face.
He didn't give 2 there, did he?
No, just the 1-2. No. Double gesture, though.
Well, I think he actually mistook Collins Fye for Koundé and showed him the yellow card, then realised he got it wrong. Or he's so much enjoying the wallop, as you say, the delivery of the yellow card. But it was Koundé. It's Koundé who's been booked for the challenge, and absolutely, quite rightly so.
And this is, I would say, the perfect distance, maybe a yard too far out.
Too far out?
Well, or 2, maybe a yard or
too
2. No, where would they be? About 25 yards? 25. I'd like to be more 23.
Okay.
But 25, pretty centrally.
Yep. Rodrigo won it. He fancies it. Alex Telles might strike it.
I say centrally, a little bit to the goalkeeper's left-hand side.
Yeah, how many yards?
25, 26.
What, to his left?
No, well out.
No, but how many yards to his left?
Well, for off centre, maybe a yard and a half. Would you say this would suit a left foot? Do you think?
Chris Sutton painting wonderful pictures here. You can imagine
Suits
yourself.
a left footer is going to. I think Rodrigo's going to take it. What do I know?
No, could be Telles. Could be Telles, the left footer. Cameroon have
Who do you fancy, Bruce?
6 men in the wall. Rodrigo won it. Dani Alves has had his say as
Doesn't mean
well.
he's going to take it.
I'm going to say Rodrigo, the 21-year-old with 21 on his back for Brazil. Whistle blows. Rodrigo with his right foot straight into the wall.
Oh, let Tellez take it. Suited the left footer.
Bremer plays to Dani Alves. Coming up to half an hour played in the first half. Serbia 1, Switzerland 1. Ball played forward for Gabriel Martinelli. He can't catch it. So that goes behind for a goal kick to Cameroon. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0.
So at the moment, it's, as we were, really.
Yeah.
Cameroon, will they be happy?
But if Serbia were to get themselves ahead and Cameroon don't win this game, Serbia are the team that will go through as the runners-up. So if they can get themselves ahead, they will then hope Brazil can do them a favour by not losing this game, and that would take Serbia through, and that would be some measure of revenge for the defeat in Russia 4 years ago. Switzerland went through that time and Serbia ended up going home. Ball bounces inside the Brazilian half. Dani Alves gets a foot on it to get it away from Choupo-Moting. Throw in for Cameroon on the left. Latest on Serbia-Switzerland comes from Conor McNamara.
Still 1-1, Ali. Another big chance for Switzerland, though. And Xherdan Shaqiri, and I have to say, in real time, I thought he was well offside. We get to see the replay. He was on, and he's put his shot just wide. Shaqiri has already scored in the match. He's now scored in the last 3 World Cups in a row. Only Ronaldo and Messi have done that as well. Mitrovic with a bullet header at the other end. Serbia 1, Switzerland 1, but a big chance for the Swiss there.
Shaqiri keeping some fine company there then. Throwing for Cameroon this time on the right-hand side. Chite doesn't look entirely happy with his Brazilian team. He's getting quite irate there on the side of the field, having a chat with Rodrigo and Fred amongst others.
It's about standards, Bruce, isn't it?
Always, Chris, like in our apartment here in Doha. Ball comes through to Edison. Standards of singing were appalling today from me, weren't they? I do apologise for that.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did. I mean, what people don't know is we had to sort of go through Ding Dong Merrily on High 5 or 6 times.
Rodrigo bursting away from Cameroonian defenders, sliding challenge on him.
Here we go.
Watch it, wait, no, he's holding it, he's explaining it. Wait,
Boom.
There we go. Ramrod straight with the arm. This time Collins Fye does get the yellow card. 3rd in the game for Cameroon. Yeah, no, if you've not seen it, social media at 5 Live Sport. To tee up this game, Chris and I recorded a little video and we started it with a little festive sing-song. We had about 4 or 5 goes. You can actually see a couple of those goes at the end of the video, and the one you heard on the show tonight was the best I came up with, and it's woeful. So
you went too low early, didn't you?
Dear oh dear.
A little bit like Collins Fay there.
Yeah.
A bit early.
So
too low.
Fye is suspended for the next game if Cameroon were to go through
first.
Yeah, but he would be suspended were that to happen. 3 yellow cards in the game already for Cameroon. The group is only likely to be decided on yellow cards if Cameroon and Serbia both win, but Serbia better Cameroon's winning margin by a single goal. So if Cameroon beat Brazil 2-1 and Serbia beat Switzerland 2-0, they'd both end up on 5 goals scored. They drew 3-3. The head-to-head is the same. It would go down to yellow cards, and Cameroon are racking them up for fun. 3 in this game puts them on 6. Serbia started tonight on 5. It could come down to that. We'll see. Another free kick for Brazil.
This suits a right footer. Dani Alves over the ball. Alex Tellez, and this is to the left-hand side.
So 39-year-old Dani Alves, his 125th cap with the free kick, floated over the wall and over the bar, and that's a goal kick for Cameroon. Chris Sutton.
Awful, really awful from Dani Alves. No real conviction. 1-2 steps and oh blimey, went really safe with that.
He's going for the floater, isn't he? Like the Ronald Koeman against England all those years ago. The little.
Yeah, but there needs to be sufficient pace on the ball. Episi just strolled across and it went 3 yards over the bar. Not a free kick you would expect from a Brazilian, Bruce.
Dani Alves, as I said, equals Roberto Carlos for 125 Brazilian caps this evening. Roberto Carlos is inside the stadium, sitting alongside the great Ronaldo, who was the star man the last time Brazil won the World Cup back in 2002. Since then, 3 quarter-final exits and the humiliation at the hands of Germany in the semi-final in 2014. Good dribbling from Mbeumo on the right. Pass through his block, chance for Militao to bring it away. Moving at speed, already up to the halfway line. Antony starts to make the run. Militao feeds the ball into those dancing feet. Nuhu comes across to try and cover it. Got to keep an eye on who's on the yellow cards. Nuhu's one of them. So got to be careful with the challenge. Watch the ball all the way, won it, and it goes out for a throw-in to Brazil. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Serbia 1, Switzerland 1 at the moment, taking Brazil through as group winners and Switzerland through as the runners-up to face Portugal. Brazil will be playing South Korea in the last 16.
It's an interesting debate about Antony, isn't he? Because he does some wonderful things. We'll come back to that, shall we?
Another goal in the game between Serbia and Switzerland. Which way is it gone, Conor McNamara?
From 1-0 down, Serbia have turned it around to lead 2-1, and it's Dusan Vlahovic of Juventus. It's a mistake at the back from the Swiss, but it's pounced upon brilliantly by Vlahovic. He's slightly off balance. He swings his left boot at it, but he plants it into the bottom corner. It's his 10th goal for Serbia, his first in a World Cup. He puts his fingers to his lips to hush the crowd, and Serbia, having been behind earlier, now lead 2-1.
So Serbia move to 4 points. They move into second place in the group. Switzerland would finish on 3. Cameroon at the moment 0-0 against Brazil would finish on 2. As it stands, it has changed. Serbia going through in the runners-up spot, having been 1-0 down. Martinelli's ball in. Oh, running onto that was Rodrigo. He took a little stumble. Wondered whether there might be a penalty shout. Cameroon have cleared. Choupo-Moting is chased back by Telles. He's lost it.
They've been brilliant all tournament at that, Brazil, when they lose the ball, recovery runs.
Fred with the outside of his left foot trying the Modric pass, didn't quite pull it off.
Yeah, just a few moments before Brazil attacking there. Cameroon had an opportunity. They'll be back up near the centre circle on the half turn. Brian Mbeumo had made a run. He was through on goal and the pass didn't come. As I said earlier, they're not going to get many opportunities. Have to make the right decisions in that final third, and they haven't done so far.
Chris Sutton with us on 5 Live Sport on BBC Sounds this evening. Final set of group games. We're inside the Lusail Stadium where the final will be Sunday, December the 18th. Chris will be here for that as well. Brazil will be very much hoping they will be there. Possibility of a Brazil-Argentina semi-final at this World Cup. Martinelli driving run through the heart of the Cameroon midfield. Advantage played as he was tripped. Fred to Antony. Antony shoots it. Passy makes a comfortable save. Low to his right. Referee quite right to play the advantage. Enjoyed playing the advantage with those hands as well, Chris.
Yeah, good driving run from Martinelli. You're right about the referee. And Antony telegraphing that, coming inside on his left foot. And just trying to bend the ball into the far right-hand corner. It's the Cameroon goal, but easy save from Epasy.
Just watching the referee, I wonder if he, possibly drama degree there, do you think?
Yeah, well,
there could have been another career beckoning for him, possibly.
Absolutely.
Showbiz. Collins Fye is down injured.
Great actors over the years, haven't they?
What?
In the US.
Yes, they have. Of course. Collins Fye is down.
Bobby Ewing.
7 minutes left in the first half. I mean,
you could imagine him in Dallas, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. And Serbia, that's the big news. Serbia were 1-0 down. They lead 2-1. They, at the moment, are sitting second spot in the group. And you do wonder, don't you, Chris? I mean, playing Brazil is not easy, but you said at the start of the night whether one of those two nations might regret not being a bit braver in their games against Brazil. Let's get back to Conor McNamara, who's watching that game.
Still Serbia 2, Switzerland 1, but another chance for the Swiss. It has been a really good game, this, in the opening 38 minutes. This time, a shot from Ruben Vargas that was drilled from the edge of the area, and the defender Pavlovic threw himself in front of it, and he cleared. I think it smacked him full in the face, but I love this, and I know you two will like this too. He celebrated it as if he'd scored a goal. The defender bouncing back up to his feet, and he had the clenched fist, and he knew he made a huge block. We've just seen a replay. It actually came off his shoulder, but he was a pumped up celebration from Pavlovic. He knows that could be huge. Brazil currently top of the group. Serbia for now going through in second. 2-1 to Serbia.
Yeah, thanks, Connor. 6 minutes remaining in the first half here. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Go on, Chris.
Do you like that, Bruce? Defenders celebrating a chance. Come on.
Come on, Chris. That's as important as scoring a goal. You've played
no, it's
centre-back.
not. Yeah, but you don't. Come on.
Come on.
The game's gone if that's the case. I mean, blimey. Every save a goal. Is that what you want to see? A goalkeeper makes a save, and
I think a vital block in a big game where qualification for the last 16 is on the line. I think
that's
you are
for
being,
other people to judge whether it's a vital block. Do your job.
You're sounding like Roy Keane. You're sounding like the Grinch here at the moment. Let the defenders enjoy what they do. Ball is
you
back.
You can't celebrate everything. You have to earn the right to celebrate.
5 minutes remaining in the first half. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Epassi, the Cameroonian goalkeeper, clears, flicked on by Choupo-Moting. Militao lets that bounce twice inside his penalty area.
And Choupo-Moting quite right at holding his arms out, saying to Abubakar, why haven't you made the run there? You know, ball's going into Choupo-Moting. He needs runners off him. They need a goal.
Yes, Cameroon need a goal. That is correct.
I mean, they haven't thrown caution to the wind just yet, and you can, maybe understand that they're, trying to stay in the game, and maybe this is all a plan, like Japan seemed to have a plan this tournament, where they play in fits and starts, but I'd have liked to see the Lions be a little bit braver.
A bit more ferocious. Abubakar chests the ball down. Plays it to Ongisa, gets it back in the inside right channel, chips a lovely ball into the box, and Burmo nearly there, headed back very coolly by Bremer to his goalkeeper Ederson, and Ederson just releases with an underarm bowl out into the feet of Fred. Anthony lays it off to Dani Alves. Anthony wants it again wide on the right-hand side. He's really enjoying the one-on-one against Nuhu, the Cameroon left-back who's on an early yellow card in the game. Serbia leading. If Serbia win and Cameroon win by the same margin, Cameroon would go through on goal difference. Rodrigo to Fred in the middle of the Cameroon half. Ball just ahead of Fabinho. Collins Fye, the right back, is back on the field. The ball is cleared. It hits Militao on the back. It runs to Bremer.
So at the minute, who's going through?
Serbia. I just said that. But if Cameroon get themselves ahead, Serbia win and Cameroon win by the same margin, so that would be a one-goal margin. Cameroon would go through on goal difference, because Cameroon's goal difference is -1 and Serbia started at -2. Rodrigo making an arrowing run towards the edge of the Cameroon penalty area. Played wide to Martinelli, back to Tellez. Tellez across to Fabinho. Fabinho to Dani Alves. Ball just jumps up off his right boot. Plays it to Militao, across to Bremer. 3 minutes left in the first half. That's clever from Rodrigo. Little ball round the corner for Dani Alves, but free kick.
Look, he looked old there, didn't he? Dani Alves, really slow, trying to get to that ball, and he's fortunate. He doesn't see a yellow card there. Pull back.
Third World Cup for him. Missed the last one through injury, did Dani Alves. Getting back now to defend this free kick. Stadium isn't jumping like it was for the first Brazilian game.
I can't wait till we see a side play Brazil and go toe-to-toe with them, because they're breezing through this game.
Here's Ederson in the left-back position outside his penalty area.
Wow.
What a ball.
How many keepers would have panicked in that
Forward
position?
to Rodrigo. He's played a lovely 1-2 with Fred. It's opening up beautifully for Brazil, looking for the run of Anthony. Can't get to that ball, and that's a shame. Epassi has it in his hands. I'm just looking up the referee, John Southwell, our producer, Ismail El Fath. Graduated from the University of Texas at Austin with a degree in performing arts. No, mechanical engineering. In 2006, I would have loved it.
That's not a million miles from Dallas, is it, Texas?
It's not. Ball down the left-hand side.
I bet you never even watched Dallas, Bruce, did you?
I was very young then, Chris. It wasn't really my thing. Fred chips a ball over the top.
More to the manner born.
Ever-decreasing circles. Big fan of Richard Bryars, I was, Chris. Epassi with his right foot. Floated ball up towards Ongisa. Lovely chest control from him. Tries to flick it over his head and take it down the right. Knocks it straight out of play. Drifting towards half-time here. Serbia are leading Switzerland by 2-1. Real drama and edge to that game. Serbia at the moment going through as group runners-up.
Yeah. I'm not sure about, the way Cameroon have played this. 9 changes for Brazil. Listen, they have a brilliant squad. This World Cup looks like it could be a squad game. Substitutions have been crucial. But you get the opportunity.
Straight back
really
to,
got to push them.
Straight back to Connor, goal.
4 goals in 44 minutes. It's Serbia 2, Switzerland 2, and this one finished off by Breel Imbolo. He's 13th for his country, calmly side-footing it in after a very well-worked move that saw a cross on the right-hand side. Imbolo got room at the back post, and he side-foots it in, and Switzerland, who had the lead, then went 2-1 down, are back on level terms again. Serbia 2, Switzerland 2. What a first
Who's
half.
going through, Bruce? Who's going through?
Switzerland at the moment with the draw is good enough for them. If Switzerland draw that game, it's only a Cameroon win that can stop them going through. And Connor's having a high old time again. On fire last night with the Germany-Costa Rica game, while Japan were beating Spain. Tonight he's got Serbia 2, Switzerland 2. We're in added time at the end of the first half here. And Chris, we've got Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Edison.
So Cameroon at half-time, do they go in happy? Do they go in thinking it's job done, we've held Brazil second half,
Yes.
we're going to have a push?
Yes, because
Oh, come on, where's the fire from Cameroon?
if Switzerland draw, a Cameroon win,
Yes, but
they only have to win 1-0.
They've got to score a goal.
They could do that in the second half. They've kept Brazil out so far. What's been the best chance of the game?
Oh, the Martinelli header.
Early on,
He should have scored, but
Yeah.
come on, they have to go down with a fight.
Ball floated forward by Militao from the halfway line. Christopher Wu is up to win the header. Martinelli controls it, thinks about hitting the shot with his right foot, still going, dribbling to his right. Hits it this time, Epassi just tips it over the bar, sort of slipped through his fingers there.
That wasn't a tip
Corner
over, that was
for
a
Brazil.
fluke. Epassi attempting to catch the ball. Martinelli from that left-hand side going past 1, 2, 3 Cameroon defenders and hitting a shot. Epassi tries to catch it, gets lucky. Just pulls it over the bar.
1 minute of added time is up, so Cameroon just need to deal with this ball into their box and they'll get to half-time at 0-0. 4 goals in the other game in Group G. Serbia 2, Switzerland 2. Here's the Anthony corner. Good delivery. Rodrigo with his right foot curls it wide. That's behind for a goal kick, and as it stands, Brazil are going through as group winners on 7 points. Switzerland will go through in second place on 4 points. Cameroon and Serbia will finish on 2, but it is still very much in the balance. Epassi, the goalkeeper, waits to take the goal kick. Referee has had a look at his watch in an undemonstrative fashion. And Epassi hits it with his right foot. Referee's happy to continue playing at this point.
Yeah, he's probably been the best watch, hasn't he, the ref, in this first half?
Onguisa's header forward. The ball bounces loose inside the Brazilian half. We're still playing here. Onguisa might be able to open things up for Cameroon. Choupo-Moting on the turn, plays it to the left-hand side. And Gamalou gets that cross in to the far post. And Bono's header, Edison saves. Throws himself to his right. Cameroon so nearly in front right at the end of the first half. Edison at full stretch denies them. The first effort Brazil have faced on target in the tournament. Good run into the box. Terrible dive.
What a dive. He's better than that.
And Gamalou throwing himself to the floor. Brazil clear up towards the halfway line. There's Wu, thumps it forward with his right foot. And Edison watches that go behind for a goal kick. And there you go, Chris. It only takes a second to score a goal. Cameroon very nearly getting themselves in front. And with the other game at 2-2, that would have put Cameroon in second place.
Yes, good play initially from Ngamlou down that left-hand side for Cameroon. Stands across up to the far post. And Burmo, it's a textbook header down into the floor, trying to go back across Edison. Edison gets a big right hand and gets it round the post. That was the moment, not far off. It's unlucky there in Burmo.
The added time seems to be going up on my screen at the moment. It said 1. Now it's gone up to 3. The referee keeps this going. Entertaining to... we've got 4 minutes. 4 minutes of added time, and we've played 3.5 of them. That's not the ref's fault. That's actually my fault. Here's Fred on the ball for Brazil. Last 30 seconds of the first half. Conor McNamara was explaining before the game how a high-scoring draw in Serbia-Switzerland, which is already 2-2, could be very interesting on the permutations front. So I want to leave that for him.
Yeah, I was thinking as he was saying that, what a load of rubbish.
No, it could come to pass. Half-time, Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Late chance for Cameroon. Edison with the flying save from the Mburmo header. Martinelli should have scored with a header at the start of the first half. Still all in the balance, Chris Sutton.
It is, and Cameroon, Rigobert Song will be maybe happy, but the Lions need to score to go through, and in this second half they need to start roaring because there have been more pussycats in the first half.
Somehow Bobby Ewing has made its way, his name has made its way into our first half commentary. No goals at the Lusail Stadium. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. As it stands, Brazil are going through as group winners, and Switzerland at the moment, Kelly, in second place.
Wait till Bobby Ewing gets out the shower and finds out what's been happening in this World Cup. Last night, Ian Dennis was at the Khalifa Stadium where Japan were taking on Spain. Conor McNamara was watching Costa Rica against Germany. The lead changed hands at the top of that leaderboard, and the qualification places changed hands 5 times over the course of the night. It was like a riff-off between Deno and Conor. Tonight, ABB and Chris Sutton following the game between Cameroon and Brazil, where a Cameroon goal could change everything in terms of the second place finish in that group and thus qualification for the last 16. But Conor McNamara has had all the goals, Conor.
We've had a Bobby Ewing's Stetson full of goals here. Serbia 2, Switzerland 2. And the situation at the moment is that Brazil would qualify as group winners and Switzerland would go through in second place. But Ali and Chris were just talking there at the end about what Cameroon, the worst scenario for Cameroon tonight. Can you imagine this, Kelly? If Cameroon were to beat Brazil but still not go through, and that would happen if it was a 3-3 or 4-4, basically a higher than 3-3 draw between Switzerland and Serbia. 2-2 for the moment. If each of these teams get 1 goal in the second half, then Cameroon would need to beat Brazil by more than 1 goal to go through, which seems almost cruel on them. But the story of this game, Switzerland scored first. Xherdan Shaqiri, after 20 minutes, becomes the third player to score at the last 3 World Cups after Ronaldo and Messi. Serbia didn't hang around though. The Switzerland lead was only to last for 6 minutes. Mitrovic, sweet header, bullet header into the corner to make it 1-1. Then Serbia were to go 2-1 up. Vlahovic got the goal there. Nice left-footed finish into the bottom corner. And at that stage, Serbia did seem to be on top. But Switzerland mustered something and came strong good in the late in the half. Mbolo in the 44th minute got the 4th goal of the game, side-footing it in after a cross from the right-hand side. Serbia 2, Switzerland 2, and it's still possible that any of the 4 teams in the group are going through.
Conor McNamara, thank you very much for that. Conor's going to keep us up to date with everything that's happening at the 974 Stadium between Serbia and Switzerland. Meanwhile, 1 goal could change it if that goes for Cameroon against Brazil. Tim Vickery is with us. Tim, it's goalless at half-time. Brazil have looked relatively in control in the game. We know that they kind of build towards a fast end in matches, but Cameroon almost breached what's been a really solid Brazil defence.
Yeah, Adio, we've had a shot. Edison,
and
Brazil
the first
goalkeeper
on target.
at last. Indeed, a Brazil goalkeeper at last, having something to do. The 2 moments of problems for Brazil, that header that Edison had to save, and a cross that he had to pour out that maybe harshly wasn't considered a chance, wasn't considered an attempt on goal. Both coming down the Brazilian right, both Cameroon able to attack Daniel Alves. But look at the other end of the field, Kelly. 3 of the Cameroon back 4 are on cards. And as the space opens up in the second half, as it's always done for this Brazil side so far in the tournament, you kind of wonder if we're going to end up with 11 Cameroon players on the field, because Rodrigo in space, Martinelli on space, Anthony in space. I fear for the Cameroon back 4, because they're going to have to chase the game. 3 of them on a yellow. Is the red going to come out?
We've already said it, Brazil getting stronger as the games have gone on in the build-up to this one against Cameroon this evening. It's goalless at half-time. Tim is fearful for that Cameroon back line as they go into the second half of that one. And we will have commentary with Chris Sutton and Alistair Bruce Ball. Meanwhile, Conor McNamara is going to be keeping an eye on Serbia's match against Switzerland. That one is 2-2 at the moment. Group G looks like this. Brazil are top with 7 points. Serbia in second place with 4 points. Switzerland in third on 3 points. Cameroon bottom with 2 points. It could change, and 1 goal could change everything in Group G. We'll be across it all after the BBC News with Joe Critcher.
Take the World Cup with you. Qatar 2022.
On BBC Sounds, this is BBC Radio 5 Live. Health officials have confirmed 6 children have now died after contracting the bacterial infection Strep A. 5 of them were under the age of 10. Health staff say they're seeing more cases than usual in the UK for this time of year. Serious complications are rare, but our health editor Hugh Pym says parents should look out for the symptoms of scarlet fever, which can be caused by Strep A.
It's quite easy to spot because of rashes on a child's skin, and a doctor should be contacted over that, but antibiotics will be prescribed, and then a child quite often will recover in a week or so. But in a very small number of cases, it can lead to an invasive infection.
Fresh strikes have been announced by 2 unions which could disrupt travel in the run-up to Christmas. Road workers from the PCS union will stage 12 days of staggered walkouts. Several hundred ground staff at Heathrow Airport will strike for 72 hours starting in 2 weeks' time. The US conspiracy theorist Alex Jones has filed for personal bankruptcy after being ordered to pay more than $1 billion to the families of the victims of the 2012 Sandy Hook school shooting. He'd repeatedly falsely claimed it was a hoax. And the boss of Tesco says people are switching from buying fresh food to cheaper frozen goods as the cost of living bites. Ken Murphy has told the BBC some shoppers are also swapping pricier red meat for cheaper white protein to save money.
On BBC iPlayer, take a trip back to Waterloo Road.
Cheers.
Cheers! Relive the history.
It was just a stupid mistake. It didn't mean anything.
The chemistry.
Well, I'm here for you, no matter what. I love you.
The drama.
Do you think I'm going to stand by and let you throw 13 years of school down the drain?
You can't stop me.
Well, we'll see about that.
Before the new series starts, watch all episodes of Waterloo Road on BBC iPlayer.
BBC 5 Live.
The FIFA World Cup. Qatar 2022 with Kelly Cates.
Our World Cup action this evening is in Group G. It's the final place in the last 16. Final 2 places in the last 16. They go to first and second in Group G. At the moment, Cameroon are a goalless draw against Brazil at the 974 Stadium. It's Serbia 2, Switzerland 2. It is so tight in that group. We know that Brazil are going to be going through. They already had the points to do that, but will they be able to go through as group leaders? They have 7 points at the moment. Switzerland on 4, Cameroon on 2, Serbia also on 2. We'll let you know exactly what happens in that one. Elsewhere tonight, next year's Chinese Grand Prix has been cancelled by Formula One because of ongoing difficulties with COVID. The Shanghai race was due to return in April for the first time since 2019. England head coach Eddie Jones will know by the middle of next week if he's going to be sacked with his position under increasing pressure. The Rugby Football Union is holding a review into England's disappointing autumn campaign. Meanwhile, La Rochelle coach Ronan O'Gara has asked the RFU not to consider him as a possible successor. After records tumbled yesterday, it was an attritional day 2 in the first test between England and Pakistan in Rawalpindi. Pakistan dug in to end on 181 for no wicket. That's after Harry Brook made 153 in England's 657 all-out. That's their highest total against Pakistan and highest score in a test in Asia. But they were made to work hard with the ball, as former England spinner Alex Hartley and Simon Mann can tell us.
Well, after the drama yesterday, it was a rather more prosaic day today, although England did score quickly, 151 runs in 26 overs, and then Pakistan came out and batted really well in response, and both openers are within sight of 100. Alex Hartley alongside me. How do you see the game after 2 days? I mean, does it feel like a nailed-on draw, still with 3 days left?
It does feel like it's only going to be a draw, and I guess the only reason we feel like that is because England have been so aggressive and scored so quickly and managed to get up to that 157 before they were all dismissed. And Pakistan ticking over at just over 3 runs and over, 3.5 runs and over. You feel like if they are to get up towards that target that England set, it's going to take another day and a half. And then we're into the final couple of days. Are England going to set them a target? This pitch, it's a really good one. It's really hard to take wickets. It's going to be tough to bowl Pakistan out, and then are England going to be brave enough to set them a target to chase?
How well did Imam and Shafiq bat? Because they were under pressure. There's a lot of runs to be coming up against when you go out to bat.
Yeah, and you want to set the tone. When you come into a run chase or they're setting a target or getting as close to that as possible, you really want to set the tone with the bat, and that's exactly what they did. They set in just before lunch because they had that time. There was a little bracket before we took the longer lunch break today here. They sat in, they scored a few runs, and then after lunch they just ticked along nicely at 3.5 runs and over. And that's normal Test match cricket. We've been commentating on this England side for over the summer 6-7 months now, where they're aggressive. They like to play aggressive cricket. Pakistan have actually played really nicely today, and they've played proper Test cricket.
Big task ahead for England to take 20 wickets in this Test match. I spoke afterwards to debutant Will Jacks about making his debut and the difficulty of getting wickets on this surface.
So far it would seem that way, but there's a lot of cricket left to be played. We've had a good start. They've obviously batted well today, which they're allowed to do, and we'll be pushing for the win over the next 3 days. My role is to take wickets. Obviously Leachy's the specialist spinner who can bowl all day, and my job is to try and crack open a batting lineup and help us take 20 wickets on this pitch.
So England still 476 runs ahead. What can they do realistically to find their way through this Pakistan batting lineup?
Yeah, I think it was really interesting listening to Will Jacks there saying that Jack Leach is going to try and be a container and he's going to try and be the wicket taker. We haven't seen Liam Livingstone today bowling his leggies and his offies. He hurt his ankle pre-World Cup and he went off and spent a long period of time off the ground today. So Will Jacks has done a lot of bowling. He's got to get the ball up and over. There's no room for error. There's no margin for error on a surface like this. So you've just got to be patient.
Yeah, try as much as you can, be patient and see what happens.
That was Simon Mann and former England spinner Alex Hartley. And there's more reaction in the latest TMS podcast. It's available right now via BBC Sounds. And there's ball-by-ball commentary with the TMS team from 4:45 in the morning. As far as the World Cup is concerned, England face Senegal in their round of 16 tie on Sunday. And, of course, there's commentary of that match here on 5 Live Sport. Will Gareth Southgate stick with Phil Foden? Here's what his Manchester City teammate John Stone said.
I've never seen anyone like Phil, anyone at that age like Phil, with his ability, with his football knowledge, his freedom, I suppose, in how he plays and how he expresses himself, and the ability that he's got is frightening. I'm a huge fan of Phil, lucky to get to play with him pretty much every day. I look forward to what he can do and love playing with him. So I'm extremely lucky, City are extremely lucky, England as well, that we've got someone like that, and I want to help him through whatever it might be and make sure that he gets what he needs on and off the pitch, and that allows him to go and play as he played the other night.
Our live World Cup commentary this evening is at the Lusail Stadium, where Cameroon are taking on Brazil. It's goalless at half-time. Tim Vickery is with us. Who should we be keeping an eye on in the second half, Tim?
Kelly, there will be a mutiny here. Even if Brazil win this game and top the group, there will be a mutiny if we don't see centre-forward Pedro. Now, almost all Brazil players play abroad. That creates a distance between the fans and the team. Pedro is one of only 3 in the squad who play at home. He plays for Flamengo. He was a top goal scorer in South America's Champions League, the Copa Libertadores. He had a strange time with Fiorentina, 4 games, and then they sent him back. He's not quick, but he's very, very technically proficient. I'm sure he'll come on at some stage. If he scores, it'll be one of the biggest roars that Rio has ever seen during a World Cup.
So Brazil looking to get in front against Cameroon. They only need a draw to confirm their place at the top of Group G, but they will want to get into their rhythm, to remain in their rhythm, to retain momentum ahead of the round of 16, which all gets underway tomorrow. Brazil, of course, not in action for a few days yet, but they're top of the group as things stand on 7 points. Switzerland in second place on 4 points. Cameroon in third place on 2 points. They're only ahead of Serbia, who are at the bottom of the table on 2 points on goal difference. The match between Serbia and Switzerland is currently at 2-2 at the 974 Stadium. So Conor McNamara is going to keep us up to date with everything that happens in that match. Taking us through events at the Lusail Stadium, it's your commentary team of Chris Sutton and Alistair Bruce Ball.
Thank you, Kelly. Players just emerging from the tunnel way down beneath us in this enormous stadium that will continue to host games throughout the tournament. This is the 6th game of 10 here. Chris and I watched Brazil beat Serbia here in the first group game and saw that quite incredible second goal from Richarlison. Very striking looking stadium from the outside. Again this evening, Chris, getting here this evening I struggled again, didn't I? When we got a good look at the stadium from all angles again. Just kept missing turnings.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Your navigator didn't help much, but not the easiest to find.
It's not. But it is, as I say, very striking. It's enormous. The design itself apparently is based on a lantern or handcrafted bowls here in the Middle East. Chris and I think it looks like a giant golden bathtub. And here we are, right inside it, watching Cameroon against Brazil. This game is 0-0. Kelly has just explained the group permutations. Cameroon, if they can score a goal with that game, that other game, Switzerland-Serbia level, that will get them into second spot by virtue of goals scored, because at the moment Cameroon have 3, Switzerland have 3. So if Cameroon scored here, the goal difference between them and Switzerland would be level, but they would have a goal more. So we've got to keep an eye on results and goals, and of course we're keeping an eye on the yellow cards as well, as Tim Vickery was mentioning at half-time. The ball is volleyed away by Militao. Brazil are in blue shirts, white shorts, blue socks with light blue tops to them. Gabriel Martinelli had a great chance early on in the game. He's on the ball, he's lost it here, he's overrun it, and Cameroon have it inside their own half with Brian Mbeumo.
Yeah, Cameroon have to risk in this half, don't they?
That is a good ball down the right for Mbeumo. Mbeumo tried to get the cross in. Bremer got his body in the way. It's gone behind for a Cameroon corner.
There's a really good ball from Faitu, and Burma in that right-hand channel. Gets the other side, I think, as of Militao, and tries to whip a cross in, but it's blocked. Here's an opportunity.
Burma is another one of those players we were talking about at the start of the night that Samuel Eto'o persuaded to come and represent Cameroon internationally. This only is his 6th cap tonight, a former French youth international. Joined Cameroon, became eligible only in August. Here he is at the World Cup. Had the late-headed chance at the end of the first half. 2 minutes gone in the second half. I'll remind you of the team lineups in just a second, but let's see how Brazil defend this corner. Away swinger from the right. Fabinho gets a touch on it. Alex Telles is down hurt. The referee stops the game immediately, and Ederson is waving the Brazilian medical team on, so he's a little concerned about the well-being of his left back.
Yeah, he attacks it really well. It's a right-footed outswinger. And they go mainly zonal, and there's Telles and Guissa who just collide. Fabinho in there as well, and I think he falls awkwardly, holding his right knee. It is.
Team lineups for you in just a second. Early stages of the second half, Serbia, Switzerland. Conor McNamara.
Yes, back underway, still Serbia 2, Switzerland 2. No changes in personnel over the break. Serbia, who had the lead at 2-1 in this game up until the final minute of the first half. And you know, even with that 1-goal margin, as the celebrations break out here, because there's another goal, and Switzerland are celebrating, and they hope that it's going to be allowed to stand. The celebrations for Switzerland as we get the 5th goal of the game, and it's Remo Freuler of Nottingham Forest who's got it. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3. It's the second time in the game that the Swiss have held the lead, and this really has been a swinging pendulum from one end to the other. And within 3 minutes of the restart for the second half, Switzerland have got their noses in front again. Remo Freuler's goal looks like it's good to stand. It's Serbia 2, Switzerland 3.
So Brazil 7 points at the moment with a draw. Switzerland with the win would be on 6 points. They would go through in second place, and it would be they who would face Portugal in the final last 16 game of the round on Tuesday at 7 o'clock next week. Cameroon attacking down the left. If Switzerland win, nothing they can do. Even if they win here, it won't be good enough for them. Alex Telles is back on his feet. He's okay. He's recovered, having fallen heavily. Brazil have Ederson in goal. 9 changes tonight to the team that beat Switzerland by a 1-0 in the second group game. Dani Alves, Eder Militao, Bremer of Juventus, Alex Telles the back four, Fabinho and Fred in front of them, Anthony, Rodrigo and Gabriel Martinelli in support of Gabriel Jesus. Tim Vickery was mentioning, of course, Pedro, who is yet to play at this World Cup. The 25-year-old has won a couple of caps for his country. One of the only domestic-based players in the squad. Brazilian fans would love to see him on the field. Still 0-0, 5 minutes gone in the second half, and very little has happened so far. Choupo-Moting lobs the ball up in the air. Bremer heads it away. It might run to Anguissa, who plays the ball back to the left-back, Nuhu. Nuhu to Ngamalu. Ngamalu wide to Anguissa, just outside the box. Left-footed cross in towards Choupo-Moting. Tries to attack it. The ball doesn't quite fall for Abubakar, but Mbeumo finds him. Hits the shot first time. Crossed the face of goal. Ederson had it covered, I think. It's gone behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, it wasn't far wide, though. Abubakar receiving the pass from Mbeumo inside the box, but the angle against him. I think Ederson did have it covered as he swivels and shoots. Clever little pass from Mbeumo, always stretching.
I think Alex Telles' evening could potentially be over. He is down again for Brazil here. This is a slight issue for Brazil, Chris, because Tim Vickery was telling us before the game that Alexander was only back in training, so he's had a slight problem over here. He has been the first choice left back. Telles has come in tonight. He's now got a problem.
Yes, that right knee again, isn't it?
You're not a medical expert, are you?
I'm not a medical expert, but I can see that they are treating his right knee. Don't know what treatment they're giving him. Maybe the old sponge.
Could be. Marquinhos is getting ready to come on for Brazil. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. 5 goals in the other game this evening, and Switzerland have their noses back in front. Absolute humdinger. Conor McNamara across it for us tonight. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3. Taking Switzerland through as the runners-up at the moment.
What a game that is, but what interests me is when are Cameroon going to really go for it this evening? Risk and reward, they have to go for it, don't they?
They do, Chris. I mean,
they can't go out with a whimper.
No.
They may, try and win the game. They need to win the game. If they end up losing it by throwing bodies forward, then they need to do that. But this is all very slow and passive, and there isn't that belief.
I thought you were being positive tonight.
I'm trying to be positive. I just, I don't get the mindset of the Cameroon players. Maybe this is all part of the plan, but they can't just wait till the final 5 minutes.
Triple change on the way for Brazil. Ederson clears long with his left foot. Jesus chests it down, might fall for Rodrigo. Half tackled. Jesus trying to get onto the loose ball, stabs it at the goalkeeper. Epassi makes the block. Cameroon defenders and goalkeeper bumping into each other, and eventually Epassi falls gratefully on the ball. It remains 0-0.
Yeah, he makes a really good save, Epassi. Bit of pinball in the area, and as the ball breaks to Jesus, he slides in and tries to poke it past Epassi with his right boot. Good save from the Cameroon goalkeeper.
Guimarães, Marquinhos and Everton Ribeiro is waiting to come on for Brazil. He is one of the domestic base players. Everton Ribeiro, winger who plays his club football for Flamengo, yet to appear in this World Cup, so he's going to get a chance in a second. 8 minutes gone, second half. Second half's not really got started here. Switzerland leading Serbia by 3-2. Even if Cameroon win this game, if Switzerland win, there's nothing Cameroon can do. Anguissa plays it down the left. Nuhu's cross in, half flicked on at the near post by Ngamalu. Brazil clear, chested down by Koundé, volleyed back by Anguissa to the halfway line. And the game all of a sudden just picking up a little bit more rhythm. Alex Telles is slowly making his way back towards that Brazilian dugout. Abubakar onto a ball in the inside left channel. He's inside the Brazilian penalty area. Big strong centre forward. Militao can't knock him off balance. Back it comes to Koundé. He's going to hit one from a long way out, miles off target, and behind it goes for a goal kick. Mind the windows.
Yeah, not a great effort, but I just feel Cameroon in this second half have come out with a little bit more positivity, but that was optimism in the extreme. 30 yards out, very wide of the goal, and the effort right-footed, very wide of the target and high.
Serbia, Switzerland latest. Conor McNamara.
Still Serbia 2, Switzerland 3, and with Switzerland in front here, Cameroon, if they were to win, Switzerland would be guaranteed going through. But what could be in jeopardy is Brazil's place at the top of the group. If Cameroon were to win where you are, if Switzerland were to get another couple of goals here, you could have a scenario where Brazil finish runner-up in the group and face Portugal in the last 16. It would need a few goals. It would need at least one in your game and two in mine. But that's now on the cards, which we mightn't have thought of before. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3.
Yeah, it's a good point, Connor. Brazil currently on 7 points. Were they to lose the game, they'd finish on 6. If Switzerland win, they'd finish on 6. Brazil started the night with a +3 goal difference. If they can see, let's say they lose 1-0, they go to +2. Switzerland's goal difference currently +1, so it is a possibility. 10 minutes gone, second half. Brazil have made the triple change. Marquinhos is now on at left back for them. Bruno Guimaraes has come on for Fred in central midfield, and Everton Ribeiro has replaced the 21-year-old Rodrigo. Brazil have lost it. Anguissa inside their penalty area, tries to get the cross in. He's tackled as he does so, and it just dribbles into the arms of Ederson, who bowls the ball into midfield. That became a 50-50, which Ribeiro lost, and Gamalou plays it to Mbermo, tackled by Fabinho, swept forward by Jesus, and Martinelli has definitely got the pace here, speeding away down the left-hand side into the Cameroon penalty area. Curling right foot shot, good save. Epassi at full stretch, tips it behind for a corner.
Yeah, as soon as the ball is popped out to Martinelli on that left-hand side, he's always going to be very direct. Little shift inside on his right foot, trying to find the far top corner. Big hand from Epassi over the bar.
Corner Brazil. Anthony will take it from the right with his left foot in his bright orange boots. Thousands of Brazilian fans just behind him. Brazilian banner with all 5 World Cup wins detailed on it as well behind him. Corner comes in, that is headed away by Abubakar, chested down by the substitute Ribeiro. Ribeiro cuts across back into the box, good chest control, driven shot. Oh, Epassi gets it at the second attempt. Hit by Militao with his left foot. It's squirmed out of Epassi's grasp, and he's just been able to claw it away. It's gone behind for another corner.
Yeah, it's just gets the shot off very quickly.
Oh.
Militao does, and the goalkeeper makes a mess of it initially, but he recovers so well. I think the ball's just creeping in and a fingertip around the post.
That could have been a horror show for Davis Epassi. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Switzerland 3-2 up against Serbia. Corner comes in again from Anthony. Koundé heads it away. Bouncing ball, misheaded by Guimaraes. Choupo-Moting in the middle of his own half. Cameroon trying to break here. Poor pass forward, intercepted by Dani Alves. He gets in a bit of a tangle, sorts it out, runs into a couple of challenges. Fouled by Gamalou. That is a free kick for Brazil. 12 minutes gone in the second half, and they've taken it quickly. Everton Ribeiro thinks about hitting the shot from the edge of the box. Across it comes to Anthony. Left foot curler, Epassi palms it behind for another corner. Quickly to Connor.
Still Serbia 2, Switzerland 3, but Switzerland so close to a 4th goal there. It was Mbolo who's already scored in the game, but he just couldn't hook it on target with a goal at his mercy. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3.
Corner for Brazil. Fans making a little more noise, wrapped around these giant stands behind the goal, away to our right. I think it's Guimaraes over there who's going to take this corner with his right foot. In it comes, whipped into the far post. Goalkeeper flaps at it, palms it across the goal line. Cameroon get it away, and the referee says that's a foul on Epassi. He's down hurt.
Did he collide with the post?
You might be right, Chris. Or when the Cameroon players want to get attention to him quickly. That is a concern. Epassi down hurt. He's been busy in the last few minutes.
Yeah, see this again, because the corner's whipped in right-footed with pace. Bremer gets up well. He does. He crashes his head off the post. The goalkeeper. This is.
Ouch.
I mean, it's pretty awful.
That's a worry.
And it's good to see him. I think he's sitting up, but you crack your head off a post like that. I mean, blimey, and he's up and he's brave, and that's all very well, but you can't tell me that he may not get a concussion from that.
No. First choice goalkeeper Andre Onana.
That's ridiculous.
What, that he's immediately back into the action?
Well, back into the action, and medical team have gone on, and within seconds, he's obviously said that he's all right, but I mean, he's hammered his head off the post there.
14 minutes gone in the second half. Chris Sutton with us on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds. This is the final set of group games at World Cup 2022. Make sure you've got that BBC Sounds app to take the World Cup with you wherever you go. Last 16 games start tomorrow. World Cup Daily Podcast is the best way to start your day. 3 o'clock we've got Netherlands against USA. 7 o'clock tomorrow we've got Argentina against Australia. So the first choice goalkeeper, Andre Onana, has gone home after a little falling out with Rigobert Song. Davis Epassi has just banged his head against the post. He's going to continue. Third choice goalkeeper is a 19-year-old who is yet to make his professional debut in club football for Marseille, and he's not played for the national team. So it'll be some story. They've got 2 basically untried, untested centre-backs out here, Cameroon, and if the goalkeeper does need to be replaced, it'll be a 19-year-old between the sticks. Ball into the Brazilian penalty area. Dani Alves clears that with a back heel volley. Now that is proper Brazilian skills. And then Jesus is fouled just outside his own box, and that'll be a free kick for Brazil. 0-0.
Militao just down in the Brazilian boxer. Is back on his feet now. I mean, Marquinhos is playing like as a very narrow left back. They're almost a back 3 now, aren't they? But Martinelli playing high up on that left-hand side. Looks a bit awkward, doesn't it, that back line now?
It does.
Brazil
Militao
lopsided.
Forward here to Dani Alves. Dani Alves wrestling for the ball, so is Anthony. Alves, like a terrier, wins it. Ball played into the edge of the box. Ribeiro miscontrols. Good skills by Anthony. Double back heel, and again. Then Dani Alves curls the cross into the far post, and Burmo is there to flick it away with his right boot. Marquinhos heads it forward. The ball drops just inside the Cameroon half. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Still enough to win Brazil the group. Switzerland going through as runners-up at the moment. Guimaraes, pass to the edge of the box. Ribeiro, first touch, trying to tee himself up for a left-footed shot. Gets away from him. Choupo-Moting plays it to his left. Here's Ngamalu. He's got support on the outside from the left-back Nuhu. Nuhu has Anthony in his face, so he plays back into his own half. And Cameroon will start slow build-up again.
Yeah, I think that pass from Bruno as he burst beyond, and Guissa was trying to find Anthony out on the right-hand side. Ribeiro just taking the ball off him. He was shut down.
Epassi, after that bang on the head against the post, clears with his right foot, the Cameroon goalkeeper. Marquinhos is able to chest the ball down, and Ederson says, I'm a better passer than you, Marquinhos, you leave it to me. But instead, actually, he picks the ball up inside his penalty area and just rolls it out to Militao, who's coming on next. This is, now you heard the roar there, Tim Vickery was absolutely right. He said there'd be big roars in Rio. Pedro, as Tim pronounced it, the Flamengo centre forward, is getting ready to come on for his country. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0, and Switzerland still leading Serbia by 3 goals to 2. Militao to his right. Here's Anthony, who's looked one of the most dangerous players this evening. Dribbling with the ball down the right, then feeds a little pass into Dani Alves. Alves across to Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes flicks it to Jesus. Jesus lays it off to the edge of the box. Marquinhos goes to his left-hand side. Martinelli fires the cross in, blocked at the near post. Jesus tries to get on the end of it. Overhead kick from Koundé, clears the ball. And there's a foul there on Abubakar by Militao. Free kick Cameroon.
Yeah, he did well. Abubakar there, backing in, winning the free kick. The cross was fizzed into the box, as well defended in the end. And from Wu it was, just hooking the ball clear. Another couple of subs here.
From who?
From Wu.
It was meant to rhyme better than that. Yeah, you got there in the end, Chris. Toko Ekambi is coming on for Cameroon, and Burmo is coming off, and Pedro is coming on for Gabriel Jesus. The other thing I was just wondering, Chris, if I can improve the singing, if Cameroon do somehow win and go through this evening, we went for Ding Dong Merrily on High, and you got Rigobert Song. Yeah. Ding Song, Sing Song. There's something we could, there's definitely something we could do. Something waiting to be done there.
Yeah, it's interesting because they haven't all been singing off the same hymn sheet, have they, the Cameroon team in this tournament, but it's still there for them. I mean, you know, there could be another twist in the Swiss-Serbia game.
Yep. If Serbia make it 3-3 and Cameroon get a win here, Cameroon, I think, will be going through. Hang on, Cameroon's goal difference -1. They'd be back to level. Switzerland be level, but Switzerland have now scored 4 goals and Cameroon would go to 4. Then you'd be into head-to-head, and actually Switzerland would be ahead of Cameroon on that. So that changes things slightly as well. The fact Switzerland has scored 3 goals is important.
But it doesn't change the Cameroon approach or what should be their approach. I mean, this is the final countdown now for them. They're out of the World Cup, aren't they? If they don't win this game.
At the moment they are, that is correct. Ball played forward by Marquinhos at real pace. Pedro chests it down and plays it back to Martinelli. Martinelli beavering forward, tries to find Marquinhos. Pass has got too much pace on it and it goes behind for a goal.
Yeah, he should make that pass, Martinelli. There's an underlap from Marquinhos. In that unfamiliar position, left back.
Have you done all your predictions for last 16? Just about?
I haven't done them all, apart from this. Yeah, most of them. Yeah, why?
Okay, no, I'm just telling people, head to the BBC Sport website and you can go and have a look.
Argentina, I think they might just edge past Australia 5-0.
That's disrespectful, Chris. Chested down by Choupo-Moting. Toko Ekambi trying to hold off 2 Brazilian defenders. They've taken the ball off him. Here's Anthony, support on the outside from Ribeiro. The ball's gone out for a throw-in to Brazil on the right. Conor McNamara, latest please.
Serbia 2, Switzerland 3. Serbia must score 2 goals or they're out. Remember, they must win here, and we've got a VAR review because Mitrovic has gone down to the penalty area, but he's not going to get the spot kick. And you can imagine the cheers in the background. I think he goes down a bit too easy, though there's a case that an arm brushed against his face, and now you've got loads of the Swiss and indeed Serb backroom staff and substitutes impeding onto the pitch. Dragan Stojkovic, the coach for Serbia, has come on. A yellow card has been shown there too. I think he's trying to be a peacemaker, but there's always a bit of tension between these two nations. There were 4 years ago in 2018. At the moment, Switzerland going through and they lead 3-2, and there's not going to be a penalty for the Serbs.
Arm brushed against the face. We saw Lionel Messi get a penalty for Wojciech Szczesny's hand brushing against Lionel Messi's face. Cavani goes down today, doesn't get a penalty for the same thing that Ronaldo got a penalty for earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, but the Messi one shouldn't have been a penalty.
I know. Yeah, well, no, you're right. Guimaraes plays the ball here to Ribeiro. Good skills from Ribeiro. Beats the defender, edge of the box. What a crunching challenge that is. Took the ball. Ribeiro is down hurt. That was Ebose, the left back. That is a fabulous tackle from him. And now, ball wide on the right-hand side with Ngamalu for Cameroon. Plays it back to Choupo-Moting. Finds Abubakar. No, he doesn't, because Bruno Guimaraes is back to block the pass and plays it to Gabriel Martinelli. And Ribeiro is still down. And so the referee has stopped the game so that he can receive some treatment. It's been very stop-start second half. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Brazil going through as group winners. Switzerland leading Serbia by 3 goals to 2. Switzerland going through as runners-up.
Yeah, Ribeiro. It's a good run initially. Drags the ball to the right-hand side of the area, but Mbose, it's a perfect challenge. He has to make that challenge. He lunges in with his left boot, but gets all of the ball. Important block.
Chris, you'll know this player coming on, Olivier Ncham. First appearance at this World Cup, only a 4th cap for Cameroon. He's another who's recently pledged allegiance to the African nation. He comes on for Koundé in central midfield, former Celtic man.
Yep, now at Swansea City. He's not really I don't think a holding midfielder is his best position. He's more of an attacking midfielder, decent technician. I think he was at Manchester City, as a youngster. But they need a bit of guile in the centre of the park, and he is one who has that. Haven't created enough chances. No. Well, no team has against Brazil, and that's a testament to the way Brazil set up. They're really organised and disciplined. We've seen their fullbacks once again this evening be more back supports. And
Brazil lose the ball. Dani Alves decides to commit the foul immediately so his team can get back in position. Abubakar is fouled, and Ongisa wanted to take the free kick quickly and felt that the left back Nuhu wasn't alert to the opportunity.
And I suppose, we talked about this in the first game with Brazil. Those who haven't seen Brazil play in this tournament and think about the great Brazilian teams over the years in the World Cup, there's always that association with attacking, marauding fullbacks, but set up a little bit differently, hasn't he, GT?
Brazil against South Korea, it will be in the last 16 at the moment, and Portugal against Switzerland will be another last 16 tie. Last 16 starts tomorrow, full commentary, both games here on BBC Radio 5 Live, available on the BBC Sounds app. Netherlands USA at 3 o'clock. I'm doing that one with Dion Dublin. Haven't got you with me tomorrow, Chris. I've got to go with a different big man up top. Throw into Abubakar, flick on to his big man Choupo-Moting. Brazil get a block in. Here's Guimarães. 7 o'clock, we've got Argentina. Lionel Messi back in action, trying to win a World Cup for the first time for his country against Australia, who've done a fabulous job to get themselves into that game. England's game, 7 o'clock on Sunday night. Highlights on BBC One at 10:40. World Cup highlights on Sunday evening. Still Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. And still Switzerland leading Serbia by 3-2. Ribeiro wide on the left for Brazil. Christopher Wu goes out there to cover him. Brazil have the ball back inside their own half. Comes across here to Militao, wide to Dani Alves. Evades the challenge of Toko Ekambi. Little stab pass from Guimarães finds Anthony. Anthony goes on the outside this time, drags it back, throws himself to the floor to try and win a free kick.
That's embarrassing from Anthony, it really is. I mean, blimey, couldn't get the better of his man and then threw himself, held his face, and guess what, he's up. He's sprinting back now. Yeah. That's pathetic.
It is. Have we seen a yellow card for simulation of this World Cup? I'm not sure we have. Guimarães up towards Pedro, caught by Christopher Wu. Referee has a word. Free kick for Brazil. 20 minutes to play in the second half, and Brazil take the free kick quickly. Pedro makes a run through the middle. Can Guimarães find him? Yes, he can. Edge of the box. Pedro loses control, and Cameroon are able to clear. As far as Anguissa, he's given it away to Dani Alves. Alves on the diagonal, in towards the edge of the box. Here's Anthony. Anthony lays it off to Ribeiro, gets it back, works it onto the left foot, looking for the 1-2. Ribeiro thought he was in an offside position. He let the pass go. Anthony couldn't get there. It's behind for a Cameroon goal kick, and it is still 0-0.
Yeah, could have got a shot off there. Anthony shifted it onto his left foot, tried a little give and go, trying to walk the ball in. Brazil up. Just haven't done enough in that final third. You think about clear-cut opportunities. Martinelli with the header in the first half. We saw them in the first game, and Neymar produced that bit of brilliance for the first goal, didn't he? I mean, I suppose, a large part of whether Brazil can win this World Cup or not is going to be down to whether he's fit or gets himself fit.
Good point. Ribeiro plays up to Pedro, back to Ribeiro, can't get it through to Martinelli, and Gamalu in with a challenge. Marquinhos trying to take the ball down the left-hand side. Cameroon's little right back Faye is there, clearance blocked by Marquinhos, keeps it in play. This could be the opportunity. Martinelli back to the edge of the box. Guimarães gets underneath the shot, hits it over the bar. Goal kick for Cameroon. Serbia against Switzerland. Conor McNamara.
72 minutes of the clock, still Serbia 2, Switzerland 3, a game that Serbia led earlier on. At the moment they are going out unless they score 2 goals. Switzerland will be playing Portugal in the last 16 as it stands. Both teams have made changes. Luka Jovic has come on as another attacker for Serbia. They need goals. Zakaria has come on, the Chelsea player for Switzerland. It's Serbia 2, Switzerland 3.
All the reaction, debate, analysis in the World Cup Daily podcast available for you later on tonight. First thing tomorrow morning. Are we going to get any more dramatic twists and turns this evening? Can Cameroon get themselves in front? If they did, and then Serbia level against Switzerland, then it's going to get very close between Cameroon and Switzerland. I think at the moment Switzerland would still edge that on the head-to-head, but as Chris keeps saying here, Cameroon have got to get forward, have got to create chances, have got to score a goal, have got to be indomitable.
And I mean, it's anything but that at the moment. Every team we've seen play against Brazil really have lacked that belief, but with what's at stake, they might as well lose the game. This isn't an honourable 0-0 draw for Cameroon tonight. You need to throw caution to the wind. Take a chance. Got to be fearless. They want to get themselves out of this group, and they're cautious.
17 minutes remaining. Abubakar leaps to win a header, flicks it on, cleared away by Bremer. Guimarães heads it to his left. Next header from Martinelli, drops to the feet of Uncham, one of the Cameroon substitutes, plays it back here to 21-year-old Christopher Wu. Wu turns away from Ribeiro, plays the ball back to his goalkeeper, Epassi. Now with Ebose, the left-sided centre-back.
Brazilian fans are quiet, aren't they, as well? You know, that's the last 2 games. I mean, they may want their team to entertain them, but are we seeing the Brazilian corporate fans here, Bruce?
I don't know, Chris. Possibility of a Brazil-Argentina semi-final, that is not going to be quiet, is it? I mean, that is going to be an incredible footballing occasion. We thought we might be getting Brazil against Uruguay in the last 16, as Tim Vickery was saying, which again would have been a massive game for this World Cup. As it stands at the moment, it's going to be Brazil against South Korea. Dani Alves comes trotting away with the ball for Brazil.
When is someone going to take Brazil on?
South Korea going to do it in the last 16? No, they'll play on the counter, won't they, again? Ball forward here into the feet of Ribeiro. Ribeiro quickly onto Pedro. Pedro lays it off to Bruno Guimaraes. Wide to Anthony, corner of the box, onto that left foot, back heel for Guimaraes. He's tackled. I'm sure the last touch came off him. It did. That is a goal kick for Cameroon. 15 minutes to play. Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Cameroon going out of the World Cup, Serbia going out of the World Cup, and at the moment Switzerland are going through to the last 16 game against Portugal.
Could get Statman Dave on after the game. His left field pick, Serbia. Look like they're going to finish bottom of the group.
Can't get them all right, Chris.
Well, that's disappointing. Our so-called expert.
If you're listening, Dave, we love you. Dave, our...
don't patronise him, Bruce.
I'm not! He's our wingman on the Fantasy 606 podcast, which will return after the World Cup.
Well, will Dave return? Will he rock up? Will he show his face?
Here's Militao for Brazil. Pass across to Bremer. Marquinhos. Has anyone in the... No, they haven't, have they? I don't even in the Brazilian team said to Chite tonight. Anthony, maybe. Wide on the right, do you think, Chris? I sort of said pick me for the last 16, or do you think Rafinha's...
Is there enough end product from Anthony?
Maybe not. Here's Bremer.
Still think Rafinha has the edge. He started the game well, Anthony.
Yeah.
There's a nice touch, though.
Yeah, first time ball to Dani Alves. Alves goes sideways to Fabinho in the centre circle.
Yeah, they're a back 3, aren't they? They're quite fluid. Brazil chopping and changing, and Dani Alves just throughout the game really just drifting into midfield.
Yet to concede a goal in the tournament. Cameroon need to score one. Guimaraes is trying to thread a pass through to Pedro. That's it, is intercepted. Cameroon bring the ball up to the halfway line.
It's all slow, isn't it? And Brazil, Anthony makes a good recovery run there.
Another change coming for Brazil, and it will be Rafinha. So Rafinha's going to get some minutes at the end of this game. Now then, Ncham bursts away into the Brazilian half. Good run, bounces off Dani Alves, looking for the 1-2 with Choupo-Moting. Guimaraes is there, gets his body in the way. Ball falls to Fabinho, plays his pass to the right. Here's Anthony inside his own half, doesn't want to give it away, plays it to Dani Alves. He's a couple of green shirts in front of him. Lovely measured pass, curled down the right to find Ribeiro. Could this finally be the moment? Ribeiro up to the edge of the box. Guimaraes takes a touch, bowled over on the edge of the box. Fair challenge, says the referee. Can Cameroon turn it into a counter? Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Brazil still going through as group winners, and Switzerland going through in the runners-up spot. They still lead Serbia by 3-2. Brilliant from Toko Akambi. Made mincemeat of Dani Alves. Plays the pass back here to Ncham. Takes a touch, drives the shot. Edison gets down. Good save, low to his right.
Yeah, but that's better though. Toko Akambi on that left-hand side. It's really one of the only times we've seen a Cameroon player try and commit a Brazilian, take the ball up to him and go past him, and he feeds the ball back to Ncham, who has a good strike on him. 25-30 yards out. Hammers the ball goalwards, but Edison gets down to his right-hand side and saves well.
Last 16 build-up. Game start tomorrow starts with the breakfast programme. Rick Edwards has a day off tomorrow, so Ellie Oldroyd and Chris Warburton with the show tomorrow.
Another day off for Rick Edwards, blimey.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's amazing, isn't it? We haven't had a day off, and everybody we see.
Come on, Chris.
Guy Mowbray this afternoon. Yeah. Another day off.
We're all working hard over here. We hope you're enjoying the coverage on
we're
5
clearly
Live,
not all working hard, Bruce.
Rafinha comes on for Anthony. Change to the playing hours for day 3 of the first test between England and Pakistan at Rawalpindi, scheduled to begin at the earlier time of 4:45 a.m. Test match special goes on air at 440. I know Chris would have liked to bat on that pitch. Pakistan 181 without loss at the end of day 2 in reply to England's 657. Cameroon have won a corner. Crossing the right from Faye is blocked, so a chance to try and put some pressure on the Brazilian back line.
Yeah, they need something. They need a bit of urgency. Cameroon, will it come from a set piece? Because in open play they had the header, didn't they, from Mburmo in the first half, had the long-ranged effort from Olivier and Sham, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. So from open play, so will it be a set piece?
Corner in from the right, away swinger, headed away, and Sham controls it on the volley with his right foot, flicks it back to his left, plays the pass here to Abubakar, shot took a deflection behind for another corner. He was looking to try and whip that into the top corner. Quickly to Connor before the corner for Cameroon. Lots of C's in there, Connor.
Serbia 2, Switzerland 3, and they've taken off a lot of their big players now, Serbia, because they're getting tired. Zivkovic, Tadic, Milinkovic, Savic, Vlahovic have all been replaced. They need 2 goals of their out, Serbia. 3-2 down for now against Switzerland.
Cameroon need a goal. At the moment, that still wouldn't be enough with Switzerland ahead. Christopher Wu tries to get on the end of a bouncing ball, goes straight up in the air. 3 Brazilians jump for that. Ribeiro lays it off to Guimarães. Guimarães trying to find Rafinha, but it's chased by Martinelli, quickest man on the Brazilian team, and look at him fly down the right. That is a filthy challenge from Vincent Abubakar. Referee immediately has the yellow card out. He waits. Abubakar is actually congratulated by his teammate Nuhu because he stopped Martinelli at full pelt, but the referee's waiting here, Chris. He wants to bring him across and he wants to go.
Yep.
Bang.
Have some of that in your face. I mean, that is just picture a rugby player running towards the line and being tackled.
That's
around
awful.
The waist. Yeah, that is awful. Martinelli though with the burners on, super quick, isn't he? And Abubakar just hauls him down, grabs him around the waist. Terrible challenge. Quite rightly booked, but he's probably shown more urgency running back and hauling Martinelli down than he has all evening, because he has been hopeless, really ineffective. A lot of excitement tonight with that front 2 for Cameroon. Abubakar and Eric Choupo-Moting.
Free kick on the right for Brazil, level with the corner of the penalty area. Rafinha might think about whipping one round the 2-man wall and going for goal. Dani Alves might look for the cross into the box. Are we going to have something to light up the Lusail this evening? Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. Brazil still going through as group winners. Dani Alves with the curling cross, and that is headed away by Abubakar, and that has not lit up the evening. Rafinha plays the ball back to Fabinho. Wide it goes to Guimarães, who plays the pass all the way back to Edison. Conor McNamara, free kick with you.
Free kick on the edge of the penalty area for Switzerland to lead 3-2. Granit Xhaka standing over it. He tees it for a Kanji, and it's into the side netting. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3.
And Cham on the ball for Cameroon. They need a goal. They need to get in front. That still wouldn't be enough for them at the moment. But if Serbia can get a goal back, if Cameroon can win this game, it might just give them a chance. Although Switzerland's goals this evening might be enough for them as well. I will just check those potential permutations for you when we get the next break in play. Abubakar's lost the ball high up the field. Militao plays it forward to Ribeiro. Marquinhos is onto it, plays to his left-hand side and finds Ribeiro again. We're into the last 10 minutes of the game, still 0-0. Little layoff from Marquinhos. Martinelli's at it again, running away from Choupo-Moting, who's got a hold of his shirt. Referee didn't see that, no free kick. And the ball is cleared away. So if Switzerland draw, only a Cameroon win can deny them, with Cameroon likely to go through on goals scored. Cameroon would go up to 4 in the group. Switzerland are already on 4. That would go to head-to-head. Switzerland have the better on the head-to-head. So Switzerland pretty safe at the moment. Rafinha tricking down to the byline. Oh, there's the effort at the near post, nearly tucked away by Guimarães. Got the touch, and Pedro is saying, why did you not leave that to me? I had an open goal, I would have scored. Referee's given a corner.
Yeah, they've had a little bit more urgency since Bruno Guimarães has come on. Clever little step over. Rafinha throws that left leg over the ball, goes on the outside on his right foot, pulls it back, and Bruno Guimarães just follows his run on. And it comes off the defender's back and goes wide, but Everton Ribeiro just behind him saying, "You're quite right, Bruce, I would have had a tap in, but I understand why Bruno went for that."
Group stage is almost done here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Last 16 starts tomorrow. Rafinha with the corner. Boubacar volleys it away at his near post. And Gamalou flicks it over the head of Guimaraes. And that's another cynical foul. And here we go again. Less dramatic from the referee, but still a yellow card.
Yeah, that's Bruno Guimaraes. Cameroon played.
Guimaraes.
Yeah, it's close to it, wasn't I? That was a similar challenge to Boubacar, wasn't it? Just hauling.
Yeah. Jerome Ngom is going to come on here for Ngamalou. Another change for Cameroon late in the game. Need to get themselves in front. At the moment, that's still not good enough. Even if Serbia pegs Switzerland back, I think that Switzerland are going through on the head-to-head record. And at the moment, Chris, these Lions are sleeping. They're snoozing.
Oh, they are. I've got to say, I'm really disappointed with the way that they've played. You know, they haven't tried to take the game to Brazil at any stage. We know Brazil have superior players, but they've got absolutely nothing to lose this evening. If you're going to go out with a bang.
Edison chips the ball out of his penalty. He's actually given it away. Ongisa plays it across to Ncham. Ncham is in a central position 35 yards out. Pass to his right. Chance to get a cross in now from the right. And Bramer is there to block that. And the ball goes out for a throw-in to Cameroon. That was Ngom, the substitute with the low cross. Fai, the right back, throws it to Ngom. He flicks the ball into his own face, and it goes out for a Brazilian throw.
That was Sunday league stuff, wasn't it? Pub football, the ball thrown into him. Tried to control it with his right foot off his chest. Out for a Brazilian throw. The belief hasn't been there from Cameroon in any way, shape or form this evening. Choupo-Moting, in fairness, hasn't had a lot of service.
Here's a chance. Guimaraes quickly spreads play to the right. Rafinha one-on-one with Nuhu, takes him on the inside. Nuhu makes the challenge, gets a little touch on the ball. Back to Dani Alves. Floats a high ball into the box. Martinelli brings it down on his right thigh. Guimaraes can't control it into the arms of Epassi. 3.5 minutes to play. Serbia need 2 goals in their game at the moment, or they're going out. And actually, Cameroon are going to need 2 here in the closing stages. If Serbia scored, I think Cameroon are going to need to score a couple here to get in front and get ahead of Switzerland. So it looks like Brazil and Switzerland pretty safe. Conor McNamara watching the other game.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, from a Switzerland point of view, they need at least 2 goals across the 2 games to go against them. Brazil going through as group leaders at the moment, Switzerland in second. The only 2 teams who would have won a game in the group if it's to finish like this. Cameroon and Serbia facing going home, having played 3 games without any wins. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3 for now. Serbia need 2 here.
Rafinha, edge of the Cameroon box, takes it on the outside with his right foot, drags it back onto the left, tackled by Nuhu, throw in for Brazil on the right. Chris, you look glum. I have to say, I've not seen you look this glum since this morning.
Well, this is Brazil in the World Cup. And look, they made a lot of changes this evening, but every team we've seen play against Brazil, they have been so negative. Do we understand that to some extent? But when Cameroon have to win this game to give themselves any chance to go through, I've got to say, so disappointed with the way that they've gone about it. You understand you may start and be a bit cautious, but
Rafinha to Pedro. Oh, time to turn and shoot off balance. It's high and wide. Goal kick for Cameroon. 89th minute of the game. I think they need 2 goals here. Do you think they know they need 2 goals? They must do. Rigobert Song is trying to get the message on.
They don't believe, in fairness to Choupo-Moting, when there have been direct balls which he has flicked on, Abubakar has been nowhere near him. They haven't linked up once.
Epassi's ball downfield. Fabinho flicks the header backwards.
They know they're out. They may have stopped the game now and
Let's give the ref a shout. Give him away from up here, Chris, see if you can see us call this off. Well, hang on a second. Here's Ribeiro. Can Brazil get a late winner? Guimaraes to his left, Pedro to his right. Little back heel from Pedro. Can't find Guimaraes. Fancy stuff. It didn't come off. It's out for a throw-in to Brazil on the right. Brazil against South Korea we're looking at. on Monday evening, 7 o'clock, full commentary on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Portugal, Switzerland, 7 o'clock on Tuesday evening. That is what it's going to be as things stand. I don't see that changing. Here's Rafinha. 7 o'clock Sunday night.
Brave call.
7 o'clock Sunday night, of course, England, Senegal for a place in the quarterfinals. Danny Alves with a cross in. Christopher Wu miscues. And Ebosse helps him out and thumps the ball away with his left foot. 90th minute of the game. Bremer comes across to try and cover the run. Bremer stretches and does well. Just pushes the ball back to Ederson. Ederson is able to take a touch, plays it back to Bremer. Bremer rolls the ball under the studs of his right boot. Plays a short pass back to Ederson. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3, Cameroon 0, Brazil 0. We've not quite been able to match the drama of the last few days here on 5 Live for you this evening, but knockout football starts tomorrow. Guimaraes plays it to his left. Martinelli inside the penalty area. Cross with the left foot, volleyed over his own crossbar by Wu, and it goes behind for a Brazilian corner.
But you know what, I think he's one who can hold his head up high. Christopher Wu, and then Bosse next to him.
9 minutes.
They've defended strongly. Well, there's been a few subs. I don't know whether
I'm worried about getting you through 9 minutes here.
I don't know, 9 seconds would have...
Your chin's on the floor already.
Which one?
I didn't say that. 0-0. Cameroon, Brazil. Corner for Brazil. Wide on the left. Rafinha with an away swinger. Bremer gets his head on it. It goes backwards, and Cham hoofs the ball up in the air. Ongisa underneath it. Who did that come off? The ball's running away from Militao on the right, goes out for a throw into Cameroon in the left-back position.
I suppose over the 3 games we've seen Brazil, the only concern would be in that final third. They haven't been absolutely clinical. The final ball not there this evening, but they don't look like conceding a goal in this World Cup.
They don't. The big question, you said it, Chris, Neymar. When will Neymar possibly be able to return? I think they will need him to unlock tighter defences. 0-0 here. Conor McNamara, what's happening with you?
We've got into 7 minutes being added on for stoppages at the end. 5 goals in the game. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3. At the moment, Switzerland are going through. And just to confirm, you know what you've been saying there, Ali, if Switzerland win, it doesn't matter what Cameroon do. If they win 2-3, 4-0, they would still be out. However, if there was the equaliser for Serbia, then, as you've correctly said, winning by 1 goal wouldn't be enough for Cameroon. So Cameroon have got to get the shooting boots on to have any chance of going through. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3 for now.
7 minutes to find 2 goals for Cameroon. Could be the first one. Oh my goodness me! They've done it! Vincent Aboubakar heads it in. His teammates come rushing towards him to celebrate. Now they might be thinking that's possibly taking them through. It's not at the moment. They need a second goal. They need to stop celebrating. They need to restart this game. But they're leading Brazil by 1-0. And an African nation has never beaten a Brazilian team at a World Cup. That might be about to happen, but it might not be enough. Cameroon 1, Brazil 0.
He's been absolutely hopeless all evening. I was thinking he should have been subbed half an hour ago. But what a header. When the chance came along, boy did he take it. It was a brilliant ball in from the right hand side. Still got a lot to do. He's got his top off. He's wandering back. The Cameroon players are rambling back. They need another goal.
Well, the thing is, Switzerland are in front, so another goal wouldn't matter. But if Serbia get a late one, Connor said 7 minutes of it.
Oh, he's gone off. He got a second yellow.
He's taken his shirt off. Of course, he was on a yellow. Aboubakar's been sent off.
What a boo-boo.
He has scored one of the goals of his career in this incredible showpiece stadium. Cameroon need another goal. He's got so carried away with the moment. He's ripped his shirt off in celebration, forgetting he was on a yellow card. Maybe he didn't forget. And he makes the exit. Cameroon down to 10. Now, if Serbia get a goal in that game that Connor is watching, and Cameroon get another here, Cameroon can go through. So Cameroon have got to keep trying.
That's one of the dumbest things I think I've ever seen. It's a brilliant header he scores. I can understand his excitement, but he's got to control himself. He's got to keep his head.
I love it.
What an absolute idiot, Bruce.
This World Cup. Just ridiculous. Surely not. Rafinha's ball into the penalty area. Conor McNamara, Serbia, Switzerland.
Still 3-2, so I think there's going to be a lot more than the 7 minutes here, Ali, because we've had a proper dust-up. Handbags, as the politically charged game that this is, has been threatening to spill over throughout. We've had two big scraps now. Milinkovic has been a bit dicey there when he's come out and he's pushed the opponent in the chest. It's still going on here. Mitrovic at the heart of it against Granit Xhaka there. They were like antlers locked together, head to head, and they've been pulled apart by teammates, and we play on, supposed to be 7. I think there'll be a lot more than that by the time the dust settles here. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3 for the moment. Brazil and Switzerland going through as things stand.
Still 5 minutes of added time to be played here. This is the key thing. If Serbia can score and level that game up, 10-man Cameroon will go through. If they get another goal and win this game by 2-0, they will go through as the group runners-up. That's how I have it with the maths. We just saw Rigobert Song actually call Toko Ekambi across to him, I think, to explain that. I mean, Cameroon...
Was there a piece of paper handed?
I don't know, Chris.
To say we need to score another?
Switzerland with the draw would be on 4 points. Cameroon would go to 4 points. Cameroon would be on 5 goals scored. Switzerland's goal difference would be level. Actually, Cameroon, their goal difference now is level. Cameroon would go above them on goal difference if Serbia can score for Cameroon. Cross comes in, flick header is wide of that Cameroon goal from Pedro. Goal kick Cameroon.
I mean, you have...
Hang on, I'm going to get the tables up.
You have commentated on a lot of football over the years. Have you ever seen an act of stupidity as great as that?
He got carried away.
That's absolute madness.
He got carried away in the moment, Chris.
We all get carried away, but blimey, they need another goal.
Yeah, they do. Switzerland's goal difference at the moment is +1. That would go back to level. Cameroon's goal difference is level. So if they score another, they would be on +1. They would go through. Right, how long left here? 3 minutes of added time. Great drama again. 5 live sport on BBC Sounds. Martinelli wide on the right, and Brazil facing a defeat as well. Marquinhos with the cross in to the far post. And Guimaraes doesn't get enough on the header. Epassi makes an easy save.
Yeah, wasn't enough pace on the cross. Marquinhos with his weaker left foot, standing a ball up, and the standing jump. Bruno Guimaraes tries to loop a header back across Epassi into the far corner, but just loops the ball up, and Epassi wanders across and plucks it out of the air.
Long clearance downfield from Epassi is controlled by Bremer. Just plays it forward to Fabinho. Fabinho wide to his left-hand side. Brazil still going through as group winners at the moment. Here's Martinelli. Martinelli plays it wide to Marquinhos. Obviously a Brazil goal changes things as well. Cameroon are going to get one of the most famous wins in their history, one of the upsets of the World Cup, and they're still going out. Marquinhos heads it across goal, and Martinelli can't control his header from close range. It loops off his head and it goes behind for a goal kick to Cameroon. Conor McNamara.
And still we play on, and it's so tension-filled, and both sets of substitutes are standing in the technical areas. The players are exhausted. You can see the shirts just sticking to their chests with perspiration. Embolo's been taken off. Okafor has come on for Switzerland as they tried to run down the clock and hold on to this lead. We have now played 7 minutes that were due to be added on. It's at the referee's discretion, but there have been delays. Serbia 2, Switzerland 3. Switzerland on their way through.
Cameroon needs Serbia to score. Cameroon need to score. Cameroon lead Brazil by 1-0. We have played 8 minutes of the 9 minutes of added time. Cameroon down to 10 men. Goal scorer Abubakar sent off, and Brazil have possession of the football. Cameroon have got to get it back. They've got to try and score a goal. They've got to hope Serbia can do them a massive favour. It's not going to be enough for Serbia if they can score that goal. Here's Martinelli, plays the ball into Ribeiro, back to Marquinhos. Guimaraes, corner of the box, surrounded by green shirts. Cross comes in and Cham heads it away. This will run to Militao. Militao side foots a pass, first time to Dani Alves. Dani Alves floated cross towards the far post. Martinelli jumps for it. Marquinhos, chest down, and Guimaraes knocks it over the bar. Late chances for Brazil have gone a-begging. They're going to lose to Cameroon.
It looks that way. They should have played Marquinhos as a centre forward. He's gone up, has created a couple of opportunities this time. Lovely little chest down to Bruno Guimaraes, and the ball just bounces a little bit high on him. Is leaning back, tries to hook it in from 6 yards. Ends up hooking the ball over the bar. But I mean, Cameroon, okay, they've won the game. I mean, everybody will say this is a famous victory. They don't deserve to go through. What are you looking at me like that for? They do not deserve to go through with this performance.
Do not take this victory, this achievement away from us. Come on. Epassi clears with his right foot from the goal kick. We've now played 9 minutes of added time. Fabinho plays the ball across to Marquinhos. Brazil and Switzerland both finishing on 6 points in this group. Brazil winning the group by virtue of having a one better goal difference. Martinelli can't keep the ball in play, and it goes behind for a goal kick to Cameroon. Cameroon have got to score, Serbia have got to score. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. The drama, the possibility, the enticing possibility of it came late on with the Abubakar header. Cameroon just taking their time and stopping here. The goalkeeper not bothered. Now, I don't get that. All over. Full time. Here at the Lusail Stadium, an incredible win for Cameroon. The first time an African nation have ever beaten Brazil at the World Cup, but it's not enough for them. They will go home. Brazil have been beaten. Serbia, Switzerland being watched by Conor McNamara.
Deep in stoppage time and a shot just off target. So close from Radonic, has come on as a substitute for Serbia. Right, here's the permutations. Cameroon have beaten Brazil 1-0, but only by 1-0. So that means if Serbia were to get an equaliser here for 3-3, that's still okay for Switzerland. A 2-2 draw wouldn't be enough, 1-1 draw wouldn't be enough, but 3-3 is high scoring enough to send the Swiss through. The only way things are changing now is if Serbia score twice, and they're not going to, because the full-time whistle has just blown at Stadium 974, and Switzerland are into the last 16 as group runners-up. They will take on Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal. They have beaten Serbia once again, just as they did in Russia 4 years ago, and just as happened 4 years ago, Xherdan Shaqiri has been one of the goal scorers. Mbolo and Freuler with the others. Mitrovic and Vlahovic scored for Serbia. It was a 5-goal thriller in many respects, but fair play to Switzerland for bossing the midfield, for keeping Mitrovic to just the 1 goal. It finishes Serbia 2, Switzerland 3. Switzerland have done what they needed to do. Their second win from 3 games in the group, and they joined Brazil in the last 16.
What an extraordinary night. Another extraordinary night in this final round of group stage matches at this World Cup. Cameroon have beaten Brazil by 1-0. Switzerland have beaten Serbia by 3-2. If Cameroon had got 1 more goal, if Serbia had got 1 more goal, it would all have been different. And they played almost 20 minutes in total across the 2 matches of added time at the end of those second halves. There was time for those teams to get back in it, but Switzerland held on. Brazil kept it to 1-0, and it's Brazil and Switzerland who go through to the round of 16. Brazil will face South Korea, who won earlier today to progress to the last 16, and Switzerland will take on Portugal. Chris Sutton and Alistair Bruce Ball are at the Lusail Stadium, where it was a famous win for Cameroon, but not enough to get them to the last 16, Ali.